Welcome everybody to the stream. Sorry, welcome to the stream. I was muted. My bad. My bad. Yes. Wait. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So, yeah, sorry, sorry, sorry it's late. Sorry I am late. Wait, am I late? I think I'm late. There's so much cat hair on my headphones. Oh my god. I was watching a K-drama and I got slightly caught up in it. You know how it is. K-dramas are usually very melodramatic and you can't put them down. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm here. Hello. No face today because I couldn't be bothered getting dressed. So, yep. I'm so glamorous. I'm so professional. It's great. It's great. Anyway, so it's been a long time since I last played this game. Do I remember anything? No, I don't. I'm just reading Killer W Dog. I mean, I sort of do, but... Oh, we just finished, I think we just finished a chapter, didn't we? And now we're in... something? This? Yeah, I think. Right? Because we just finished episode 3. I think. And then I was like, I have to go to sleep. Well, not sleep, but I was tired. I had to stop the stream. I don't think we did the tea party yet. So here we are. It's very Final Fantasy 9 music. And actually some 8 as well. Some 8 as well. Pardon, sorry, I just have to bring up the stream chat because I did not do that yet. Because I'm a dumb... Yep, well, it's a very long game. I never expected Lady Birkenstell's piece to barge in at the very end. I searched all over the place for a piece fitting for a game with you. I was sure you'd like it. What's with that piece? Who was that person? Who was it? Wait, who's this? She didn't say her name. That's mean. Hey, don't you think so too? I have a general idea. Or rather, I imagine most people would have figured it out. Most people? Well, I don't get it. And it was that character's first appearance, wasn't it? If she doesn't say her name, I won't understand. The players won't understand. No one will understand, right? Beato, don't bother telling her. See? Isn't she a funny kid? Indeed. Lady Lumdadelta's innocent airhead side is truly precious and amusing. Oh, I remember this name. Come on, why won't you tell... why won't you tell only me, you meanie? In exchange, I'll teach you a special secret that only I know. So tell me. Oh? A special secret, you say? She's blushing. I want to hear. Bleh. If you want me to tell you, first tell me who that girl really was. The secret I know sure is awesome. Is the game too loud? Maybe it's fine. Okay. After all, that's about as awesome as knowing that Santa-san is actually Daddy. Huh? That's awkward. I said it. Sorry, I'll bet you're so shocked that it turned your world upside down, right? Oh ho 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 ho. So your father was the one who came to your place, Lambda? He came. Wait, what do you mean? Lord Santa Claus only visits the homes of children with pure hearts. I guess he didn't come to your place, did he? Oh, rip! Well, Lord Santa Claus is glorious. Unless you're a really bad scoundrel, he'll give you a present. After all, he even gave them to me. Well, her eyes moved and it was scary. As you grow and your heart is saddened, he stops coming, doesn't he? How old were you, Beato, when he stopped coming? Indeed. He kept coming until I was about 12. It's very awkward to put it that way. Can you not put it that way, please? When my maidens hard awoke, I quickly got somewhat embarrassed about Lord Santa coming. This is too much for me. After I wrote thanks for everything, that's enough. So make sure you splurge on the last set of presents. He stopped coming. Ooh, and I was looking forward to it too. How old were you when he stopped coming, Lady Birkenstell? Can we say visiting instead? It would be better. I was pretty wild. It happened fairly early. I think when I was about 9. Something about that beard really irritated me, so I waited in my futon with some sewing scissors ready, trying to cut it off. What a painful age. What the fuck? So, as far back as Lady Lumdadaughter can remember, Lord Santa Claus never came to see her, huh? He usually comes until the last year of elementary school, or I know, it sounds horrible. He usually comes until the last year of elementary school or during middle school. Maybe we should take her to a doctor. I hear that being too precocious can have negative side effects on the growth of mind and body. Yeah, you can definitely see some of those negative side effects. Hey, what are you people talking about? Blah. Oh, it truly is boisterous when 3 witches gather. If you're talking about a secret on that level, I doubt this will be worth listening to. Can I go now? I have to get ready for the next game. What? Hey, wait a sec! Tell me who that woman really was! Well then, tell me this special secret of yours first. If it's good enough, then I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you, because it really is a special secret. Remember, in this game, there was a girl who found the gold and became the new witch, right? Indeed. And just what kind of secret might that person have? I figured out who that girl really is. Does anyone know? There was a hint in the way she talked. Remember, that girl said it a lot, didn't she? If only you'd just blah. Right? Yes, that phrase is the key point. If only, if only, if only. Yes. She was actually Ishramea ever. What do you think? Are you shocked? Oh, no. Oh. I never noticed that. To think that there would be a hint in a place like that. Well, I never noticed the hint, I guess, but... Okay. You're a real good sport, Beto. Oh. You're a real good sport, Beto. This kid tends to get full of herself to try not to overdo it. See you. I'm leaving. Wait! It's not fair if you just listen to my secret and don't tell me yours. Tell me who she really was. Your secret was so amazing that mine just wouldn't match up. So in exchange, I'll teach... Oh, I don't know who's talking. So in exchange, I'll teach you a special secret. I'll tell you the name of the culprit in this game called Higurashi no Nakakoroni. What? Don't say it! I'm still playing it! It's great. See you, Beto. The black tea was delicious. However, the repertoire of jam on the crackers was lacking. Add some gochujang chili paste every once in a while. It looks great with Russian tea. Later. Oh, I see. I shall try it. I'll call for some after preparing the next game. Until then, feel free to polish up your strategy at your leisure. Yes, I'll do that. This last game was pretty interesting. Later. Hey, wait a sec. Tell me. My, you two really are close. Yes, that's right. Oh, I really like you, Birkenstell. You could even say I love you. I want to gouge out your eyes so that you see no one other than me. Oh, that would be so wonderful. It'd be great to dunk them in black tea. Aha! To think that you would be so entranced, Lady Lambda Delta. I have a serious responsibility. Still, this last game really was close. I was a breath away from getting Battler. getting Battler. Beto, can I ask you something? What is it? I won't tell you the girl's name. When are you gonna stop fooling around? Are you even trying to win? Lambda Delta threatened her with when are you gonna stop fooling around? Are you even trying to win? Lambda Delta threatened her with a low voice that she had never used in front of Burn Costello. It completely blew away the calm atmosphere that had been there until a moment ago. Oh, look at her face! You know, I'm supporting you because you're supposed to be a witch who can win against Burn Costello. If you don't have the power to win against her, then I'll abandon you right away, okay? How harsh of you. What about me dissatisfies you? As you know, my game board is perfect. Lady Burncastel will never be able to win. Yeah, that's right. Your board truly is impressive. It truly is an impressive and perfect game board, the Burncastel. Burncastel. Holy fuck, her name's so hard to say. Definitely won't be able to Definitely won't be able to win in, not even after 100 years, or even 1,000 years. That's why I made you a witch in exchange for letting me borrow it. If I stop being your guardian, you'll immediately go back to being a human. Make sure you don't forget that. No matter how much incredible magical power you hold, you're nothing more than a temporary witch. I understand. Oh, what is that jingling noise? I'm grateful to you. Don't speak so casually to me. I'll forgive that when Burn Costello's around, but not when she isn't. I'll bet you've started to forget how much you owe me. That is not so. Ah, you really are disgusting. Go ahead and talk the way you usually do, but be mindful of what you say. I have a surprisingly short temper, you see. Indeed. Let's get back to what we were discussing. Your game board truly is perfect. You should be able to defeat Burncastel without any trouble. But that kid won't surrender easily. She'll challenge you over and over. That is no problem. It has been certified by you, Lady Lambda Delta. My game board is perfect. Yeah, that's right. It's perfect. But are you, the player, perfect as well? Oh! What do you mean by that? Oh, I thought she was talking to me. What do I mean? That's what I want to hear. You play around a lot in your game. Sometimes that ends up confusing Burn Cassell. So at first I thought it was some it was some special strategy of yours. But I get the feeling that's not quite true. Rather than toying with the opponent in a match you can win, you don't actually care whether you win or lose, right? Ridiculous. How could that be? You know what? Your role is to make Burn Cassell surrender. In other words, that means being the victor in this game for all eternity. As long as you keep trying to become the victor with certainty, then I'll give you my power as the Witch of Certainty. However, if you fight in a way that doesn't eliminate any possibility of your loss, that's a different story. Of course, this is a game. Just as Lady Burn Cassell will lose when I win, I will sometimes lose when she wins. The possibility of loss always exists. Therefore, I will... This is... What? What? Wait, maybe this was... her speaking, or whatever. This is why you're useless. There's no need for you to be a game board. You just have to be a birdcage that can lock Burn Cassell up here for all eternity. What's the role of a birdcage? Making certain the little bird inside never escapes. What's a birdcage worth if it is cracks to sometimes let a bird out? Of course, games exist for the purpose of winning. and it is impossible for me to lose. Therefore, I will continue to win. As you wish, for all eternity. Good answer. That'll be fine. I'll allow you to play around and use fakes as part of your tactics. It ended up being useful during parts of this round. But you know what? If you make a move hoping for anything else other than victory, make sure you're prepared for something amazing, okay? I will not do such a thing. I swear it. Because originally you weren't even a witch, and at any time, I'll remind you what a truly shabby creature you were. If you betray my expectations, that is. Welcome to the stream! You dug on. As soon as you do, you can look forward to a fun punishment game. Ah, her face! In the world of billions of fragments, I'll send you into the most miserable one and seal you there. You were already miserable to start with, so there's gonna be some really miserable fragments out there for the picking. Her face. Scary? Stop that. Oh, I love you, Burn Cassell. Struggle in Beatrice's birdcage as much as you like, and over the course of 1,000 years, realize that you can no longer escape. And when you surrender, I'll train you so that you can't do anything other than cry in the palm of my hand. Ah, scary face. Oh! Oh! Scary. Stop looking at me like that. Thank you. Jesus. Chrono Trigger. Oh, that's their name. Never mind. Achievement. I love you forever. It's all in capital letters. New elements added. Question mark has been added. Question mark. It's really humid here today. Oh, it was raining before, now it's sunny. 12 years later. October 4th, 1998. A monotonous electronic sound kept on repeating. The room was colored with hygienic tones. That's not how you spell hygiene, is it? Maybe it is. In other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctors nor the person herself had any doubts that this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night there, would be the last room she ever saw. What? Was the person on the bed Eva? Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. The well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whispered conversation through an intercom with someone outside. He was a guard protecting... So this is... Is this in the future? Because... Or wasn't it like the 80s? I don't remember the time. The original time. Year. Thing. Maybe all of this, we're just stuck in her head all the time. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Eva's bed. Eva had been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in empty space as though her mind was not in the same place. Anje-san had arrived in the lobby below. I don't know who's talking. Is this the guard? Anje-san has arrived in the lobby below. Should we let her pass? For a long time, Eva didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus, and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Anje. It had been Eva who called her, and she was right on time. By this point, Eva would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There was always one guard waiting in the room, and 3 more waiting in the corridor and the lobby. They were all there to protect Eva's person. Obviously. Eventually, there was the sound of a knock. Are you asking for the year in which this current Anje is, or the Rokkenjima incident year? The Rokkenjima incident year. You know, like, whatever year it was we were told at the beginning of the game. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest's body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked, then opened, and a high school-age girl was standing there. 1986. Oh, okay, so this is like about 8 years in the future, or 10 years. Chairman? Oh. Chairman? Anje-san has arrived. Eva reacted and turned her face towards the guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Anje's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Eva was sensitive to even small changes in smell. Welcome to the stream, Increlink. Hello, Nato, hello. What? Right, so 12 years. So you came, Anje. Oh, this person! I totally forgot this person existed. I came. You did call me. This is her daughter, isn't it? On Eva's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. Oh no, it's her niece. Just kidding. And on Anje's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with their aunt. Eva waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. Ooh, I wonder if it's like... Because Eva's like really old now, right? At least that's what it sounded like. So maybe it's like they have been trapped on the island for like 100 years. Maybe not that many years, but like 60 years. And whereas Anje wasn't there, so she hasn't aged much. And then like... But everybody else has aged a lot because they've been stuck in that time period for so long. And that's why she's really old. Eva waved her arm, which had grown as thin as with a branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard... Oh, I don't really want to know, though, so don't say anything, please. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall. Yeah, I also kind of was wondering that about her arm. She must do lots of yoga. It's not only stuffy, but dark, too. Can I open the curtains? Is your plan for that hitman you hired to shoot me through the window? I wish I could get hired to assassinate you. All I'd have to do is relax at home for a month and the job would take care of itself. The discussion was quite morbid for an aunt and niece. However, they didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Eva believed that someone was after her life. All of the Ushiromiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushiromiya Eva. It was said that this fortune also included the 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushiromiya Kinzo was rumoured to have hidden. While this vast wealth lay in Eva's cunning, sly and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. But it was rumoured that as soon as it was passed on to Anje, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. By now, Eva and Anje were Kinzo's only descendants. If Eva died, all of the wealth would go to Anje. And if Anje were then to be killed as well, that wealth would go to the family of Anje's mother, Clear. Oh, this is Battler's sister! Or like stepsister or half-sister or something. That's right, okay. In this sense, not only Eva, but Anje as well. I'm going to assume her name is Anje and not... Actually, her name might be Ange, not... yeah, her name's probably Ange, not Anje. Otherwise it would be a J or a D. And no, not a D, but yeah, it would be a J. Because it had the kanji there, so I'm going to assume that it has 2 syllables. So maybe it's Ange. Although everybody has really English names, so maybe her name is just Ange. but then she had the kanji, so it wouldn't work that way. Because you need to have a vowel at the end of a thing, unless it's an N, because that's how Japanese works. So, well, their names might be different, I don't know. Welcome to the stream, King Cobra. Cobra, I mean, why do they call it Cobra? It's weird. Oh well. I don't know how to say her name. Maybe Ange. I'll call her Ange then. Sounds weird though. Ange. Ange. Angie. Does anybody know how it's written in katakana? The Romaji is Irshime Ange. Oh, okay, so I was close then. Ange is good enough. Okay, alright. Wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by someone unknown. It probably comes from Angel, because I think... Actually, is it Angel or Angeru? Would it be Angeru? It could be Angeru, not Angeru. Or Angel. Anyway, okay. Angeru is them. Alright. We're in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. A G sound. Okay. In the Japanese dub, they pronounce it in English, so it's Ange in Japanese. And Eva had hated Ange for a long time. I'm gonna call her Ange. This was because she knew that, after losing her only precious son, George... Oh dear. The inheritor of... Wait. Look, stop. Let me go back. Okay. You'll have to go to the family of Ange's mother, Kiria. In this sense, not only Eva, but Ange as well. We're in a position where it wouldn't be... I wonder why Eva left it... I wonder why Eva is willing to give it to her niece. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. But now Eva and Ange... Oh, because Eva and Ange were... Oh, that's why. Okay. I see. So she doesn't want it to go to Kiria because she's not a descendant. She's just a wife or whatever. Okay. Alright, I see. Alright, if Eva died, all the wealth would go... Okay. Okay, I see. In this sense, not only Eva but Ange as well were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Eva had hated Ange for a long time. This was because she knew that after losing her own precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at that family conference 12 years ago, and who had survived. Oh, so everybody else died except Eva, I guess, like, during that thing? Oh, yeah, because in the 3rd chapter, she found the gold, right? Okay. In this arc or whatever. Eva shunned Ange, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Ange in a special school and separated her from the youth and happiness normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. Wow. Although... Well, so I guess Kiria died, but it would go to Kiria's family? Wait, where? Yeah, to the family of her mother. That doesn't really make any sense, but okay, sure. However, Eva had succumbed to an incurable illness, and ironically, her remaining life is estimated to be the same as Kinzo's had been at that family conference 12 years ago. Okay, so maybe she's not old, maybe she's just really sick. I still like my idea of them being stuck in a time loop, though. Both Eva and Anja hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly. And? Why did you go to all the trouble of calling for me? I don't have much time left. These quack doctors still can't detect any of the poison that's filling me up. I know. I'm sure it's some secret assassination drug used by those Soviet KGBs. Oh, I'm gonna be killed. I'm gonna be killed. Isn't that great? Very soon I will die, which will surely be quite a load off your back. What a pitiable person. This always happened. They immediately deviated from the main topic, distorting it into a more unsettling discussion. Eva, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life, and in actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushiromir family, she had used wild methods just like Kenzo had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and creating many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital... I didn't mean to click past that. Good job. Good job! I accidentally pressed control! Hold on a second. Because control is like a button on the side of my mouse. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. That is so fucked up! Shame on you! Ironically, it was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She had repeated this constantly for 12 years. She had also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. Good. For some time, Eva eloquently spoke of how her life was being targeted, listing off names of people who hated her, and sneering at the fact that she still hadn't been killed. The control thing happened to all of us. Yeah, it's happened to me several noises. Several noises? Sure. Even though Anja heard her own name included in that list, there was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently for Eva to tire herself out. Ooh! Oh, I hear wind whistling. You see, I really hate you. I'm on it. Same here. I built this future for George's sake. To think that it would be snatched away by Hugh. To think that it would be stolen away by Rudolph's daughter. I can't bear it. To think that I would have my fortune stolen away without even leaving behind a child. That I cannot forgive. If only you just give all of your fortune to charity. What about all those religious people you used to go so far out of your way to find? They all say the same thing. My excessive wealth has become a burden to me. They always say something about how I need to give it up and cleanse myself. Then I thought of something. I stopped donating. For a time, Eva had searched for the founders of several strange and new religious cults, perhaps seeking peace in her heart. What? Can't you donate your money to, like, a good cause? And not weird religious things? Oh my god. I was gonna say that before, actually. It's like, if you had to steal all that money and you're worried people are gonna kill you and stuff, just fucking donate at least a chunk of your wealth to charities and stuff. But they gave her heart no relief. Not that that would, negate it, but it might help a little. And if anything, they ended up increasing her paranoia further. If you have too much money, why don't you start buying up thoroughbreds and make some corned beef? I thought of something even more interesting. I've worried over it a lot. What could I do to make things horrible for you? I thought about killing you. I also thought about erasing all of my wealth, leaving you penniless, and selling you off to a slave trader or something. Wow. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You'd have your arms and legs chopped off and be forced to— Oh. I can't read the rest of this sentence. What the fuck? What the actual... What the fuck? Why? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Is this fun for you? Oh yes, it is. It's fun to scare you. But very soon, I will die. So I thought about how I might continue to cause you pain even after my death. And then... It was surprisingly simple. I called you because I wanted to talk about it. I have midterms coming up. Keep it brief. I have decided I will have you inherit all of my fortune. Huh? Not only that, but I decided that until the very day I die, I'll expand their fortune as much as I can, inflating it to massive proportions before having you inherit all of it. Can you even imagine what that would be like? I don't get it. Because it's stupid. That's right. You don't get it, do you? Look forward to it. It really is fun being rich. Every day, Yorkai from across Japan come to play. From now on, your entire life will be followed by talk shows and weekly magazines. The media will criticize me no matter what I do or don't do. If I donate, they'll attack me for being bored. Hold on. Dictionary time. I have to go get it. It's in the back room. Oh, my plant is falling over. One sec. I have to save my plant. Okay, sorry. I'm here again. Hello. I was using it to flatten the Naru magnets because they were all bent for some reason. And it is big and heavy. Anyway, what am I doing? I think it's a bourgeois. Let me see. Bourgeois? Bourget? How do you spell it? Where'd it go? B-O-U-R B-O-U Wow. I don't know how to read this. Bourgeois, I think. Bourgeois? Bourgeois! But the stress is at the beginning, so it's like bourgeois. Bourgeois. It's hard to say. Anyway. A member of the middle class, especially one regarded as being conservative and materialistic or capitalistic, a mediocre, unimaginative, or materialistic person, characteristic of relating to or comprising the middle class, conservative or materialistic in outlook, dominated by capitalists or capitalist interests if you are Marxist. Bourgeois. Bourgeois. Okay. Alright. Anyway, if I donate, they'll attack me for being middle class, I guess. And if I hesitate, I'll be abused. As a miser. Why did it go up? French words cause NOCTE our brain to explode. Bourgeois? What? I do not think that is correct. Oh, every day really is wonderful, you see? I decided it'd be great to let you have that kind of life when you're so young and have so much ahead of you. Doesn't that sound absolutely wonderful? Yes. Please give me all the money. Looks like the public's opinion of all you've done was spot on. Too true. Yes, that is too true. Go ahead, abuse me as much as you want. Soon you will face that same criticism. And Japanese culture dictates that good people live in honorable poverty while the wealthy should just die. No matter what you do or do not do, you will eventually be lifted up as a symbol of envy and hate across Japan. I wonder how twisted your life will become after living that way. You have no allies. No one will listen to your worries. Abusing you will become a public sport, and no one can stop that. I mean, it depends on how you act, surely. Surely not all rich people in Japan are, like, looked down on. Not if they probably act humbly and stuff. It's kind of similar here in New Zealand, because we have this tall poppy syndrome, so anyone who acts higher than other people is cut down with a chainsaw, so... if you become rich and famous in New Zealand, you still have to act like a everyday New Zealander or people will hate you. So it's probably the same in Japan, I imagine. Oh, Angie. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder how you live your life and how you'll end it. Enjoy to the fullest a life of being unable to trust anyone in the world, being unable to love anyone, being unable to talk with anyone. I'll be patiently waiting for you to take that story of hardship down with you into hell. Okay, alright, that's a lot of... Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Her insane laughter turned into a painful cough. Without changing her expression in the slightest, looking completely unconcerned, Anje stared at the only survivor of Rokkenjima. Perhaps because he found the violent coughing suspicious, the guard gave a short knock on the door and rushed in at the same time. Anje glanced at him, wordlessly making it clear that she didn't intend to move a step from where she was. Anje was prepared for some kind of trap to frame her in Eva's death. However, that was fortunately a needless fear. As the guard rubbed Eva's back, he poured hot water from a thermos into a mug. As he did, Eva kept coughing, apparently in pain. Anjay figured that this was probably the last she'd see of the Rokkenjima witch's final days. Eventually, the coughing subsided, and Eva regained her normal breathing. However, the glittering madness inside her eyes hadn't subsided in the slightest. It's weird we don't get to see her. I want to see her. Oh well. Now I will give to you that cursed mass of gold in the Ushiromiya family headship, as well as the name of the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Enjoy the insane, twisted rest of your life, fitting for the name of the witch. I don't need that. More importantly, tell me, on that day, what happened on Rokkenjima? I don't believe it was an accident. Tell me the truth about what happened that day and why father and mother Nii-san died. Oh, yes. That is the best way I have to harass you, isn't it? What happened on that day? What happened on this day in 1986? You want to know what they said before they died, right? I won't tell you. I'll leave behind the cursed gold. But you know what? I'll take the truth you seek with me to hell. That's the best way I can torment you. Oh, are you mad? If you want to hear it so much, try going to hell and asking your family there. In that case, you'd better die right now, right? Oh, if only you just give up and die right now. Oh. That laugh continued until she started coughing again. And that cough did not subside until she started moaning and going into convulsions. Oh dear. What the fuck just happened? Okay. Warning. October 4th, 1986. On Rokkenjima, the Ushiromiya family's customary and final family conference was held. And on the next day, October 5th, an extremely unfortunate accident occurred and the Ushiromiya family was wiped out. Fortunately, Ushiromiya Eva escaped from that, and inherited almost all of the Ushiromiya family's fortune. However, due to the many turbulent rumors surrounding the Ushiromiya family, the way Eva acted afterwards and her unnatural actions at the time of the unfortunate accident, the public was in an uproar over whether this might have been a conspiracy to get all of the inheritance for herself. Under pressure from the public, prosecutors repeatedly tried to investigate the matter, and the media began tracing the outline of a conspiracy they called the Rokkenjima suspicion. But in the end, they weren't even able to find proof that this unfortunate accident was a crime. However, because the media continued to give the impression that the Rokkenjima suspicion was a conspiracy of Eva's, my dictionary has, the phonetic spelling, so, yeah. Also, well, I imagine Google Translate would give me the actual French pronunciation, which isn't necessarily what would be said in a New Zealand accent. Yeah. They have very different vowels and stuff, so. Because the media continued to give the impression that the Rokkenjima suspicion was a conspiracy of Eva's, public opinion began to believe that she was the true culprit. Also, I don't really like to open Chrome when I'm streaming because it takes up so much like resources and stuff. Of course, that was also influenced by the bad impression caused by all that easily condemnable. It's quite a different word there. It was also influenced by the bad impression caused by all that easily condemnable, overbearing financial activity. Which he had carried out using that vast wealth. I don't think the R is pronounced, though, in French, in that word, is it? What are these sounds I'm hearing? Okay, hold on. And they weren't even able to find proof. This unfortunate was crime. However, because the media continued to give the impression that the rock continues to Eva's public opinion began to believe that she was the true culprit. Of course, that was also influenced by the bad impression caused by all that easily condemnable, overbearing financial activity which she had carried out using that vast wealth. Okay. Every time she did something and the rumour started spreading, the media would bring back the rock consumer suspicion, blaming the criminal justice system by saying that she was the true culprit and that the only reason she hadn't been arrested was because even the police had been bribed. So the impression that she was a great villain grew stronger and stronger. Her heart eventually degenerated, and ironically, it began to transfigure her into the kind of human that the public expected. Oh dear. By now, Eva had no one she could trust, and no family. After her beloved husband passed away, the talk shows occasionally mentioned his company, saying that it was run recklessly while criticizing and disgracing its former accomplishments. Even her beloved son, George, was dramatized as the stereotypical rich, lazy son that the public expected. And no one even wanted to know what a simple and honest character he had possessed. As to how much of this hurt Eva and ran her to ruin, no one cared. The public was only interested out of curiosity. About how a super rich, evil woman who killed her whole family lived her pitiful later years. So that happened more and more. And eventually, Eva's personality was transfigured until people started calling her a lunatic. It was said that this sometimes reminded her of her father, whom she had once admired in his later years, and that she laughed at herself with scorn. And on the day of that final family conference, because Ushiromia, Rudolph's daughter, Anja, had been sick and had stayed with her mother's family, she had not participated. At the age of 6, she had lost her family and had gained Eva as her guardian. Ah, there it is. Since Anja had become Eva's only blood relative, Eva took very good care of her. She had imposing guards surrounding Anja's person at all times, to prevent her from coming to harm. Anja had even her right to play with. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Oh, I injured myself. Oh, warning. Oh, that was unpleasant. Hit my elbow. Oh, shit. Anyway, she had imposing guards surrounding Anja's mother. Anja had even her right to play with friends, to come home from school together, and to enjoy the seasons together, stolen away, so that she can live a full and pleasant school life. Eva had sent Anja to an elegant boarding school that took care of her every need, completely isolating her from the world. She didn't even know the popular songs that girls her age might hum. She was never given a chance to enjoy window shopping with her friends or stuffing her mouth with crepes. Crepes. Much less an encounter with a member of the opposite sex to make her heart throb. Or the same sex, you don't know. Anja did not have a single friend. If anyone carelessly acted friendly with Anja, they would be scolded by the guards or else the teachers. All of them were strictly ordered not to let shabby humans approach the daughter of the esteemed Ushiromia family. During that time, the talk shows were always mentioning Ushiromia Eva, always spreading rumors about her countless financial misdeeds. Those who knew who her daughter was naturally began to keep their distance. Even now she was called a witch at school, and any time something bad happened, even if there was no proof, it would be whispered as though it were absolute truth, and she had imposed her will on the school staff. Wow. The environment makes the person. I'm sorry, wait, is this a school? Do they have lifts at their school? What the fuck? Oh, right, because she was at a big fancy boarding school. Okay. The environment makes a person. By now she had a heart as wild as those around her feared. No one trusted her, so she never bothered to believe in anyone. No one loved her, so she never even tried to love. And whenever caught an incurable illness on top of all this, it was whispered that this too was a conspiracy, and this time Anje was set up as the mastermind. Everyone whispered that the daughters of witches are witches too. Even the talk shows and the weekly magazines whispered that. Do they really whisper though? So Anje also accepted it as though it was definitely, no, as though it was obviously true. Wow, that's so sad and fucked up. Therefore, since she already believed that she was a witch, when she heard that the name of the Golden Witch was being turned over to her, she only felt like saying, "You just figured that out now." However, she was at least sure of one thing. This title of witch that she had inherited would definitely never be inherited by anyone else. She would be the last head of the Ushirimiya family, and the last lonely Golden Witch. That's also very sad. You could have a son. No? Okay. Ooh, that's so pretty! Oh my god, is she gonna kill herself? You don't have to do that. You can just have a hysterectomy. Okay. Anje could be seen on the roof of a skyscraper, if that's what you want. The roof of a skyscraper. Compared to the winds of the world that had beaten down upon her. Or maybe she means including herself. Compared to the winds of the world that had beaten down upon her until now, the strong, cold wind was warm and pleasant. What? I mean, she could always just move somewhere else. And not live in that place. Wouldn't that help? No? Okay. Below her lay a beautiful nighttime scene and a dazzling river of red and white lights. Surely there is more of the upper elite class or whatever that are in a similar situation and who she could hang out with? No? Okay, she's the only rich person in Japan. Sorry. Yes. A beautiful... Yes. This music is pretty too. It was supposed to be clear out that night. So there really should have been countless stars stretching out over the sky. However, the light from the ground was too bright, so you couldn't see them at all. Aw, sad. Anje couldn't help but think that what she truly sought must lie in that unseen starlight. The world of reality below her looked so far away from here. She could imagine that this place was the closest to the world she really should be in. There was only one thing that Anje cursed. Why had she not been able to go to that family conference on that day 12 years ago? Even though if she had gone, it would probably have been possible for her to stay with her family forever. Lately, she'd been dreaming about her family over and over again. Aw. The person I was 12 years ago calls out frantically, urging them not to go to the family conference. But both Dad and Mum are too far away, my hand won't reach them. Batlan-san always loved me a lot, and he'd always pat my head. But even though it looks like that hand's about to touch me, even it does not reach. For some reason I started having that dream over and over. Every time I had the same dream, I uselessly tried to stretch out my hand even more forcefully, over and over and over. Even if only Batlan-san had lived, then perhaps we'd at least be able to support each other in my cold and lonely reality. But his hand never reaches me. Even if I climb to the roof of this tall building, I'm so far away from all of them. A mysterious girl appears in my dreams and urges me. She urges me to find the truth of what happened 12 years ago. This is like Trails music right now. If only I could learn everything that happened to Father and the rest of them on that day, would they come back? At least one of them? There was no way that anyone would answer that question for her. I get it. In this world I have no family or friends, so let's go. Let's go home. To where my family is. No, don't do it! There are other ways! From the start, Anje's figure had been on the outer side of the fence. The scenery below her eyes was distant, beautiful, and so fantastical that it actually didn't give rise to fear. If I look down, I'll surely be swallowed up by the world below. So I looked up, because I wanted to be taken to the world above, the world where my family was. Who cares about vast wealth? Who cares about cursed gold? Who cares about the Golden Witch Beatrice? What I really want, even a mountain of gold couldn't get me. What I need for that is to take a single step forward. Just that little bit of courage. No! At that moment, I definitely heard a voice. It was a voice I knew. A voice that had called to me in my dreams for so long. Oh, hello! Before my eyes, in other words, in mid-air above that jet black nighttime scenery, there was the figure of the girl I'd seen in my dreams. She spoke again, with the same voice I'd heard in those dreams. Was this music? Your assistance is required. My assistance? Who needs it? Your family needs it. Your family has been eternally imprisoned in the span from this day 12 years ago until the following day. If I save them, does that mean my family will come home? When I asked the question I'd most wanted to, the girl cruelly stopped talking and hung her head. I cannot promise that. The enemy is the Golden Witch Beatrice, a mighty opponent. I cannot oppose her. But another Golden Witch might be able to manage something. I don't know what you're talking about. The only one who can oppose the Beatrice of 1986 is the final Beatrice of 1998. In other words, you, Anje. Anje Beatrice. That witch from 12 years ago took away my family? That's right. She is your foe. The root cause that always leads to a future of isolation. My family's foe. In exchange, I will search for a fragment with the ideal world that you wish for, a world where your family comes home. I make no promises that your desire will be granted. Beatrice's game board in 1986 is quite perfect. I had planned on bringing you that ideal fragment as a present today, but I still can't find it. This is a very firm fate. I haven't seen the likes of it since the time I fought Lambda Delta. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm giving you a chance for revenge. In exchange, I promise to search for and bring you the happiest resolution among the possibilities you're capable of accepting. Revenge. It may be a fruitless effort. Even if you succeed in your revenge, there's no definite proof that your family will return. Even if you manage to hit a miraculous probability, you may only be able to bring one person back, if that. Anje understood the meaning of that dream. The dream where it seemed that, with just a little more stretching, her hand might be able to reach at least Butler Nisan. A miraculous probability means it's still higher than 0, right? Who's talking? I don't know. It must be her. A miraculous probability means it's still higher than 0, right? Is it 1%? Trying to read any probabilities before the result is useless. So I cannot tell you that number. But it'll definitely be slightly more likely than if I do nothing. Yes. As long as you do not throw that desire of yours away. But be prepared. It is extremely close to 0. But there's a chance. Okay. I'll take you up on that offer. Are you sure? You probably won't be able to return here again. Well, I was gonna die anyway, so this isn't the world I'm supposed to be in. I'll find the world I am supposed to be in myself. Tell me your name. The Witch of Miracles, Bernkastel. And by that name, I acknowledge you as the Golden Witch Anje Beatrice. As of now, you are a true witch. The instant she proclaimed that I was a witch, I felt dizzy, as though something inside me had changed drastically. At that time, I heard a clunk. It was the sound of the door that opened to the staircase to the roof. It was Aunt Eva's guards. They're only guards in name. Aren't they the cage that wraps the tightest around me, shutting me in? They saw that I was already on the other side of the fence and dashed forward, horrified. 20! We found the target. Requesting backup on the roof. Anje-san! We were looking for you. It's dangerous there, so quickly, come this way. What's that? Oh, what's that? My fan club. I'm pretty popular. No point in getting caught. Let's go. Looking annoyed, Bernkastel turned on her heels. In the jet black sky. Oh, in the jet black sky. Watching that perfectly casual gesture, I followed her, as though it was completely normal. Anje-san! Wait! Don't be hasty! Look out! Ah, it's useless. It's all useless. Well then, see you again next time. Please send a limo to get me, because everyone else will be there too. See you. Anje-san! That's such a cool picture, look at that! I mean, it's terrible, because it's fallen through that, but it looks cool. At least you did it in style. It's possibly the worst thing I ever said. Oh, we're done with that, finally! With that chapter, I mean. The whole chapter. Oh, that's good. Oh, Suzumura Kenichi's in this. Oh. That's in this that I recognize. Sugata Tomokazu's in this. Oh, he plays Ronove. That's funny. Huh. Well, see, not really, because there's still a whole other game of four chapters. The answer arcs after this, so really it's more like, what's 3 out of 8? How much is that? We're 3/8 through the game. What is 3 divided by 8, everyone? Like less than 2. Right? Wait. No more than 2. No more than... I don't know. Look, it's been a long time since I last had to do fractions, man. I was never good at them anyway. New game board added. The next episode has been unlocked. Bum ba bum. Yay, we did it. Episode 4. How shocking that you haven't been forced into surrender even now. Wait, I want to read the thing. Ah, warning. Wait, can I go back? Can I go back? Wait, I want to go back. Let me go back. Warning. Let me go back. Game. Okay, I'll just go back in the stream and read it. Hold on. This is going to require too much effort, isn't it? Hold on, we can do it, hold on. Whoa, hello. Oh yeah, I forgot about the thing. Hold on, I'm just finding it. Wait, why is the chat over there? You know the chat's not supposed to be over on that side of the screen. That's great, good job. Good job, everyone. Hold on. It's supposed to be over here. Strange. What is wrong with me? Everything. Come on, credits. Let me go past the credits. It's really hard to do this on a phone, you know? Bum 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 bum. Oh. Okay. And... Okay. Good morning. How shocking that you haven't been forced into surrender even now. By this point, even I am forced to expect a lot from you. Not all of the game takes place on the board. How about taking a little peek at the outside this time around? They say that if you know your enemy, you need not fight 100 battles. The difficulty level depends on you. The manner in which you've fought up until now will greatly influence the difficulty of this game. There we go. You were right, Betbakun. We're already on the ground and you can't fall any further than that. Ooh. Fall. In the lobby of the Nijima airport, Maria dashed around in excitement. Battler's uproar in the plane must have been hilarious. Hey, Maria! Cut that out! I'm sorry, Betbakun. Please don't take it badly. What a pathetic guy you are. Even with that huge body, you still can't handle vehicles. Ah, shut up. All humans have one or two things they can't handle. Betbakun, why don't you come with your aunt on an overseas trip sometime soon? How about Europe? I'm sure you could manage a half-day trip on a plane. Stop it, Mother. Betlakun's dislike for vehicles is probably genetic. Oh, you mean Asumu-san? For some reason, she just couldn't handle vehicles. Pretty much anything other than a bicycle or a car. Whenever we tried to go far away, that woman was so annoying with the not this, not that. I'm scared. Fall, yeah. Children tend to learn that things their parents can't handle are dangerous. I'm sure Butlerkin saw Asumu-san doing something like that and learnt that vehicles are scary. So it's Asumu-san's genes then, is it? Who knows? Those would be some pretty annoying genes. Let's stop talking about Asumu. Right now, you're the one who's here, right? Oh. You're right, sorry. Oh. Hey, the cars are here. Exactly 3 of them. Get in. Fall. Where's the parachute? Ooh. Why, you little... Hold on. Stop right there. I'll sentence you to the little girl tickle punishment. Being in high spirits is such a wonderful thing. Without Betlaken and Maria-chan, the atmosphere in that plane would have been pretty grim. Thanks. I'll assume you mean that literally. What? What do you mean? What do you mean liter... What? Hey, brats. Taxis are here. You can play around later. Ooh! Taxi! I'm getting in first. Hey, Maria, and you too, Betlaken. Stop fooling around. You'll bump into someone. The tone of Aunt Rose's voice grew a little frightening. When even Bettler realized they were fooling around a bit too much, just as expected, he bumped into someone. Oh, sorry. Betlaken, you guys are going in that car. You're keeping them waiting. After George urged him to hurry on, Battler apologized to the person he bumped into and ran up to his parents, who were telling him to come quickly. With a clunking sound, the doors on the 3 taxis were shut one after another and they departed for the harbour. As their taxis dashed away, the entire world grew suddenly dull and slowed to a halt. Okay. Voices, the wind, and even sound, all of it stopped, and all the people who were trying to move froze like the instant someone takes a photo, coming to a halt. People and machines and clock hands, even the dust dancing in the wind, were frozen. Some people who were walking froze with one leg still in the air. Scraps of paper dancing in the wind were pinned in midair, frozen in place. Then, among the shadows standing still in this unmoving world, a single one stirred. It was a girl. This sounds like Chrono Cross music. It was a girl. The girl Battler had just bumped into. Oh, that's funny. Though she had moved, it was a truly subtle thing. Her gaze dropped, her shoulders lowered a minuscule amount, and she sighed. That was all. In a normal world, that probably wouldn't even be taken as movement, but in this still world, it looked very out of place. Then something else moved. It was a black cat wandering around the shadows near the taxi rank. It came up right behind the girl, and leisurely changed its form into that of a human. This was no cat. It was a witch. Of course, the girl was also a witch. As the witch stood still, her gaze still downward, she muttered, "Oh, that's a face. I can't stop everyone from going to Rokkenjima, can I?" "You cannot. On October 4th, 1986, you were not here. If I were, would stopping everyone really have been possible? I really like her hair. Well, I can't imagine what a 6-year-old girl could do to make them turn back. Still, that's right. If you were in this place, the probability wouldn't have been 0. Whenever there's a probability greater than 0, I can seek out a miracle. If I hadn't been sick, then they hadn't left me behind." With her head facing downwards, the witch tightened her fists. They were trembling very slightly. "You were sick in bed starting October 3rd, 1986, and Beato's game board is sealed off starting October 4. You were not given a chance to avoid getting sick. In other words, it would normally be absolutely impossible for you to enter her game board. Thanks for being patronizing. I know that. I know that just seeing father, mother, and Oni-chan healthy like this, even that alone, is a spectacular miracle." Anja had tried to stand in the way of her family, attempting to stop them from leaving the airport and heading towards Rokkenjima. However, it was impossible for her to exist on October 4th, 1986, so she couldn't do it. Even though her brother had only bumped into her and apologized, even though he hadn't realized she was his own little sister, it had been such a miracle that she could cry. Oh. Sorry about the sarcasm. I won't waste the miracle you've given me. I'm glad to hear it. Come, let us go with them. To Rokkenjima. All of the pieces are already gathered. The curtain will open on the 4th game. By this time, Beato and Battler will already be seated. To Rokkenjima. To where everyone's fate's changed. The Rokkenjima of October 4th, 1986. What happened on that day? I'll expose it. I'll learn what it is, and I'll bring them back. As she stood there with her fists still clenched, she surely... You mean slowly? She surely turned her face up to the heavens. A single teardrop from the depths of her eyes dripped down into the air. Wouldn't it just, like, fall down her face? And when time started moving again, unless it was really windy, the two witches' figures were swallowed up, oh, there you go, by a blowing gale, and erased in an instant. Rain! Oh! I hear rain. Oh, Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. Hello. Is this usually what the opening is like? Well, rip me having monetization on this video. It's such a good theme, man. What's the name of this band again? I forgot what they are. They're so good though. It was loud. What is this name? I don't remember this opening. Am I just being dumb? Is it different? I feel like it's different. Well, it's been a long time. Oh, Naked Battle! It's been a long time though since I last saw it. Oh, why is this song so good? Oh look, there's the gold. Okay, we found it. Can we go home now? Good morning, milady. My, you do appear to be in a good mood. What a pleasant awakening you seem to have had. What do you mean, pleasant awakening? I was so excited I couldn't sleep a wink. After all, the curtain is rising on the fun fourth game. It seemed that she truly had been so excited that she hadn't gotten any sleep. Did she show absolutely no signs of lacking sleep because she was young, or because she had the mind of a little kid? Ronovet chose not to say that aloud, and laughed poo-coo-coo instead. I really ran that battler into the ground last time. Ah, the look on his face when he was like, "You tricked me!" That was so pathetic. Even so, is that guy still feeling down? Feeling down, you say? Well, that's right. That man's a bit too trusting for his age, isn't he? Indeed. Although you could call that his charm. Coo-coo-coo. Oh, ain't it the truth, ain't it the truth? Well, speaking of which, didn't he totally fall for that one last time? Yes, totally and splendidly. He violated the purity of one never deceived since the time of his birth, as well as his rosebud-like innocence, all to your heart's content. Even the joy of dashing across a field covered with beautiful new snow on a winter morning and trampling it completely wouldn't even begin to compare. Didn't you take Butler Summer's innocent heart, and quite thrillingly, splendidly, atrociously, mercilessly, and unculturedly go just a little too far? And you insulted him to the highest degree, enough to make one uneasy. Most people would be crushed after something like that. So much so that they wouldn't want to see your face ever again. I know that much. I also, thought that if he was too disheartened to join us at the table, even though the fourth game is finally starting, that would be such a pain. So I came to you, thinking that it'd be better to prepare a countermeasure for that case beforehand. In that case, perhaps it really would be best to prepare such a countermeasure. I don't know who's talking. I guess it's the curtain talking. I am sad to say that your... That's what a curtain sounds like, apparently. I'm sad to say that your North Wind and the Sun strategy gave Battler Summer quite a shock. I think my favourite arc so far is the one where Battler gets naked. Yep. Ho ho. A shock, you say? Wait, was that the first arc? How bad of one? Beata lowered her voice. Oh, wait. Ho ho! A shock, you say? How bad of one? Beata lowered her voice slightly, asking timidly. Runave followed suit and lowered his voice in the same way. In truth, he has been crouching and clutching at his knees for some time now. I spoke to him several times, but he did not answer. I also brought him some food, but he never even touched it. That is troublesome. Is he really feeling that down? It is only natural. After all, you thoroughly got him down, milady. That would make most people start to distrust humans. Oh, distrust of humans. How convenient. Let him give up on humans and trust witches. Oh. Sorry, I shouldn't fool around too much. Beata had tried to joke about it, but the situation seemed to be quite serious, so that even she took the hint and hid her laughter. Is it really that serious? Should we wait just a little longer before beginning the fourth game? Lady Berncastel's guests will be arriving, so it may be best to open the fourth game quickly. However, perhaps you ought to show a little concern for Battler's feelings, milady. Concern? Show concern, you say? How should I do that? He is feeling down, so... That's right. Shall I cheer him up? I don't know who's talking. When a person's heart is dark and closed off, interacting with them in a dark manner gains you nothing. Your only option is to shine with a brightness stronger than the dark. They will fucking scare me like that out of nowhere. I will like to know. If I my headphones down. Damn, why is there jazz playing? Damn it! Quit messing around! Batacon, over here! A croissant baked by Runave Summer would be wasted on the likes of you. Why don't I enjoy it myself? Croissant. Battler's stomach involuntarily growled at the fragrant smell of the croissant. I haven't had a croissant in so long. I used to eat them all the time in Finland. His breakfast plate was empty, but Battler hadn't eaten any of it. The biggest glutton of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, Beelzebub, had waited for Ronave to leave, and had then come to snatch the food away. Battler had noticed. Oh, that's a really good idea, actually. Naru, I should add croissants to my shopping list. How do I say it? Where's my shopping list? Warning! There it is. What is this music? Sounds like Persona, which is weird. Battler had noticed, and they'd been really noisy ever since. Even though Beelzebub had only to give it back only had to give it back immediately or else throw it into her own mouth right away, she intentionally ran around in circles making fun of Battler. Give my breakfast back, damn it! If you give it back now, I'll let you off with a single flick to the forehead, but just you try eating it. What? Are you gonna eat me up instead? That's awkward. If you think you can, just try it. I'll bet I'll be as sweet as honey pancakes. Gotcha. Right now, I want to eat that bread even more than your thighs. Oh! Be a good girl and give it here. Give it here. So, what is that? So, you resist until the end. No way, I won't give it to you. Even the croissant wants me to eat it. Yay! Yahoo! Good morning, Battler. Are you still moping so early in the morning? It's the beginning of a new day and a new game, so let's get our spirits up! She flung the door open, like a marathon runner drawn on a certain caramel box. Okay. With her hands held high in an idiotic cheeriness, Beato appeared. For some reason, flags from around the world and confetti scattered about, perfectly completing this magnificent entrance. Oh my god. Battler and Beelzebub, who had been fighting over the croissant, completely forgot about their argument, speechless. Good morning, Beatrice Summer. I'll just be on my way now. Here, Battler can say, ah. Hey, morning, Beato. Hey, morning, Beato. Glad to see you're cheery this morning. Beato and Battler looked at each other. It seemed neither had a clue what was going on with the other. But Battler? Well, what's going on, Ronover? He looks totally fine, doesn't he? He isn't clutching his knees and he's answering. Wait a sec, he was even in the middle of eating. Oh no, he was sleeping like a babe in his futon, clutching his knees. I informed him that it was time to wake up, but he just wouldn't rise. I tried to feed him, but it seems that a naughty cat wandered in and prevented that. What? You tricked me! You should talk. Weren't you the one who played that massive trick last time? I don't have a clue what's going on, but it looks like you got what you deserved. By the way, Ronover, nice one. Thank you very much, Bethasama. The two men stuck up their thumbs as though they understood each other, chuckling together. What is happening? For a while, Beato was very energetic, trying to hide her embarrassment. Heh. Don't take me so lightly. Did you really think I'd still be hiding in a corner holding my knees? Then who was that person crying their eyes out in frustration last time? You could have gathered your tears in a jar and called it face lotion. Ew. Shut up. That was, just because I was a little surprised by your crappy act. I might have looked a little lame, but don't think the same move will work twice. Of course not. And don't disappoint me by falling for the same move over and over, okay? Yeah, just you watch. I'll show you that I'm a guy who gets stronger every time he's beaten down. But Beato. Yes? What? Don't do it again. Look at his face! Oh, so serious. Her? Why's that? So you really are weak against a rear attack. You and I are enemies, and will certainly never join forces. Now understand that clearly. Who's talking? He is. So don't you ever try to trick me about that fact again. Oh, her face! You say that, but knowing your weaknesses, I'll... Beato thought they were still joking around, but that tone had disappeared from Battler's expression some time ago. Beato felt as though his eyes were like the surface of black tea that had cooled down. Okay. You hear me? Don't do it again. Oh. I don't get it. I might do it again when you've forgotten, right? Don't do it again. Pierced by his strong and forceful gaze, Beato held her tongue. Maybe she was certain that Battler would break that silence with laughter. However, Battler's serious expression didn't change in the slightest. So to break that silence, Beato had no choice but to start laughing herself. Very well. You and I are worthy opponents. No matter how friendly our relationship, we'll never be anything more than a pair of enemies. If you have not mistaken this, that is enough for me. That's right. I almost forgot you were my enemy for a second there. I won't embarrass myself like that again. I won't fall for your rear attack again. Never again. It seems I'm not the only one who cannot wait for the fourth game. I'm pleased, Battler. Come, take your seat. Yep. Just how I like it. Clever little tricks won't work anymore. Stop acting so tough. You remain in a state of surrender for the last mystery in the previous game. You remain in a state of surrender for the last mystery in the previous game, the mystery of Nundro's murderer. My answer for that one's still on hold for now. But that doesn't mean that I've lost heart. I'll definitely break your red truth and show that I can deny witches. A commendable attitude. You truly are a man like a phoenix. Don't betray my expectations. With that, let us raise the curtains on the fourth game. But before that, it seems we must welcome a new guest. A guest? You remember as well, correct? That mystery girl who appeared at the very end of the last game without an invitation, ruining my fun. Oh, that's right, she did too. That person is your sister. Don't you recognize her? She says she wants to join our game. I sent her an official invitation inviting her to join this match. Reneve, summon our guest. There's no need. I'm already here. Oh. The voice that answered Bertha's call came from the darkness in a corner of the room. When Battler turned around in surprise, he could now see that mystery girl there. My. How rude. All you had to do was greet us as soon as you arrived. I don't make a habit of talking to people before punching them. After I punch is a different story, though. Oh, and what would you say? Good night. Have a nice dream. Oh, how amusing. How truly amusing. Bertha cackled and clapped her hands. But that was only Bertha, and nothing rose to Battler's face except a bitter smile. Phew. You sure are a fighter. Battler and the girl's eyes met, and he shrugged his shoulders as he spoke. How does he not recognize her? But the girl didn't answer, giving only a cold stare in return. You helped me out at the end of the last game. Thanks for that. I don't need your gratitude. You were just slacking off. I only told you to open your eyes. That's so true. Stop slacking off, Battler. Bertha tried to laugh as though sympathizing with her, but it didn't reach the girl's ears. She did absolutely nothing except stare at Battler with ice-cold eyes. Well, it looks like someone hates me. I'm just annoyed that you aren't taking this fight seriously. Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Don't tell me that travesty earlier was you being serious. Don't take me for a fool. How long do you intend to play along with the witch's farce like this? I'm fighting Bertha my own way. Doing it seriously, of course. Seriously? Don't make me laugh. You keep on drinking tea and chatting with a witch for all eternity and call that fighting seriously? Keep the jokes to just your hairdo. Oh! Where's the face? Well, that's because I wasn't used to this witch's game in the beginning and I've been through a lot of harsh stuff. Still, I'm finally starting to see how to fight and I'm getting the knack of doing it. If the pathetic way I've been acting makes it look like I haven't been serious to you, you're just wrong. Is that so? Of course, I know I've got to close in a lot more before I can grab Bertha by the collar. But no matter how long that distance may be, it's still finite, and in each game that passes, I'm steadily closing that distance step by step. No matter how long it takes, I'll close in on that witch, and I'll definitely checkmate her. It might take 1,000 years, to use her phrase. But even so, I'll definitely win sooner or later. Why? Because I definitely won't accept losing. I definitely won't stop moving forward, closing in on her. In other words, there's just one thing I can say for sure. I will definitely win against that witch someday. That's how it is. You really don't sound like you're in a hurry. Are you even trying to win? Even the finite can become endless if you treat it the wrong way. By now you've become an Achilles. You couldn't even outstrip a turtle. What? I get it. So this is why I'm needed. At this rate, there's no way you could win against the Endless Witch even after 1 billion years. Who are you? It's not like you'll be struck by lightning if you just tell me your name. Yeah, about that though. At that point, the girl fell silent, gazing straight into Battler's eyes. At first, Battler faltered under the firmness of that look, and his gaze wavered slightly, but then his eyes gradually began to be sucked into the pupils that were staring at him. Then, inside those eyes, he saw a light they had seen some time before. Battler was struck by how strongly they resembled the eyes of a girl who definitely couldn't be here. The voice in the background scared me. Even though that was completely impossible. Huh. I know it's stupid, but for some reason it feels true to me. But that can't be right. That person's supposed to still be 6 years old. You couldn't possibly be. Anje, did you? If I were to say, that's right, would you believe me? I'll put it another way. If I said, I am your ally, so trust me, would you believe it? Would you unconditionally trust some unknown girl you're meeting for the first time just because she looks a little like someone you know? Yep. It's because you're such a softie that you get tricked so easily in the last game and cried so bitterly. You said it yourself. That kid is 6, right? Do I look like I'm 6? If I were to claim that I'm that sick, I am that kid despite that, would you just swallow that story? If you say it like that, there's no way I can argue back. Sorry. That's right. I am a softie. And that should have been made clear to me after the last game. Is that what you meant when you said I wasn't being serious? Yes. You may think you're fighting against a witch, but you're just getting along with her and playing. You're just playing and fighting in a friendly game of chess. That may be a serious contest for you two, but looking at it from far away, I only see you playing around and following the rules like you're good friends. That's harsh. But as long as you're unable to win at this game, you won't be released from this place. That's why I came. I came to bring this game to its conclusion. You claim that you're closing in on the witch, but you're just like a hamster running around on a wheel. Oh, one of those. Those things that run around and around in place night after night. At a glance, you might think that running around in a wheel is endless. The endless witch Beatrice. It's just like you. He thinks he's fighting, but he's actually just... Oh, wait, that's her talking. Oh, fuck! Wait, I don't know who's talking. Oh, she's running around... Oh, it was her talking. Okay. This isn't a game. This is nothing more than a cage to shut him up in for all eternity. Huh? You liken my endless to something like a wheel that a mouse plays in? Interesting. Interesting. Something that's endless and... I don't know who's talking! Something that's endless in a certain dimension can be less than endless in a higher one. The fact that a Menger sponge has infinite surface area only matters in a world of less than 3 dimensions. In the 3-dimensional world of reality, it has 0 mass. Not only is it not endless, it doesn't even exist. What an assertive woman. It seems you are worthy of being called my enemy. Who are you? Your sister, it's your sister. I am your ally, and an enemy of witches. Of course, you don't have to believe it. No one can prove that I really am your ally. On the contrary, it's more desirable that you keep your guard up strongly enough to find me very suspicious. That's right. Last time ended up pretty bad. I've got to be at least that careful. Who's talking? Is he talking? I got to be at least that careful. I didn't plan on getting tricked twice. Beata laughed in a truly pleased way, which was humiliating only to Battler. People don't just get tricked out of the blue. That only happens when they fail to check things for themselves and leave it to other people. Victim blaming much? Saying that you thought the light had turned green just because you saw other people start crossing doesn't count as an excuse for getting into an accident. Oh. Get it? Yeah, I get it. You're telling me not to swallow information given to me by others, but to think for myself. In the past, I swallowed all the magic Beata showed me. I stopped thinking, so I was useless. Battler grimaced as he remembered his many painful losses. The witch watched and laughed again, putting on a bold appearance. I'll offer you advice in a way that works to your advantage. Of course you shouldn't swallow everything I say. I have to turn the fan on or I'm gonna die. So it's a bit... Because no one can provide certain proof that I'm your ally. In the last game, Virgilia, who I thought was an ally, was actually on the witch's side. Battler couldn't rid his head of that airy smile worn by Virgilia, a person he'd once even thought of as trustworthy and reliable. Oh yes. So I don't need you to unconditionally trust me. You might as well take my advice as nothing more than an opinion to be considered. After all, the player who's fighting in a game against the witch is you. I'm sorry if that was really loud. Oh. I'm drinking water. That's right. That's right. Saying I lost because I followed the moves of an outsider would be just too pathetic of an excuse. Oh yes, my opponent is Battler. You are nothing more than an outsider. You should bear that in mind. No, I'm not an outsider. With Beatrice and Usharimir Battler, and I, who gaze down from above, it's almost like a fight in the shape of a triangle. At a glance, it might not look like a united front, but having a united front doesn't necessarily mean fighting together. Huh? What an odd thing to say. Just now, he described fighting with you as closing the distance. But you can't measure distance with a single eye. Only with two eyes are things visible in 3 dimensions, and only then can distance be judged. And even when you have 2 fields of vision, it's pointless if they're in the same place. I mean, you can actually measure distance with a single eye, but okay. It's just harder. You can pin down witches more accurately when they're far apart. Shooting from different positions and different angles. Shooting from different positions, different angles. So basically it's crossfire. I don't know who's talking. Haha, interesting. We're shooting from different positions and different angles. So I won't get along with anybody. That's how I'll keep my own position separate and catch the witch in a pincer attack. Are you okay with this, Battler? This girl may actually be an ambush I set up, right? She might just be saying something plausible to gain your trust, right? Maybe. She's been saying that over and over again herself, so of course I can't blindly accept her advice. But as to whether she's worthy of trust or not, I can think for myself and make a decision. As long as I don't stop thinking for myself, I won't be tricked by anyone again. What confidence, Ushiramiya Battler. After you've said so much, it makes me want to trick you all over again, you see. I can't wait to see what kind of face you'll make when you realize you've been duped once more. How pleasant. It looks like you know my name, but I don't know yours. Looks like I know my Hanabaraba. Tell me. For a while, the girl remained silent, without changing her expression even once. She looked as though she couldn't decipher whether to say her name or not. Or possibly as though she was deciding on the name she'd say on the spot. Gretel. Ghetto? You are? That's my name, dumbass. Call me Gretel. Then should I call myself Hansel? Hansel? Just kidding. I'm Ushiramiya Battler. Call me Battler. I gave him Beatrice's voice. Sort of. That was weird. Nice to meet you. I hate handshakes. Don't take it personally. Ah, really? Sorry. After all, it isn't certain that you're my ally. And you just told me to keep my guard up too. Battler drew back his right hand, which he had stuck out. His bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a strong resolve directed at this new fourth game. Battler, think deeply about why you must win against this witch. You can't stop with something abstract, like I'll beat her because I don't like it. Have a deep conviction that you'll definitely defeat the witch and escape from this world. Because there's definitely someone waiting for you to come back. For that kid's sake as well. Maybe there was something she wanted to say. Gretel clenched her fists in front of her chest and hung her head in silence at a loss for words. For a short while. This game makes me drink a lot. As though smashing through that silence, Beatrice spoke up in a forceful voice. Good, that should be enough of an introduction for Gretel or whoever. Come, try to remember what happened on October 4th. Lift the curtain open on the fourth game. At the same time as though it had been blown by a sudden gust of wind, the clock that had been turned back to October 4th, 1986, started to move. Finally, can we begin the story now, please? While we remained in the witch's tea room, the blue-grey sea and the green rock and Jima spread out beneath us, and we could see a boat heading there, its wake trailing behind it. The sky was already cloudy, and it seemed that the barrier of the typhoon would soon shut the island away. Typhoon, typhoon. There was the boat, docked in the harbour, and Gorda, otherwise known as Bumchin, helping to unload it. Then, once all of its passengers had disembarked, the boat began to separate from the shoreline. The relatives were gradually swallowed up by the island, and they all died. The end. Ah ha 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 ha! Looks like you're as cheery as ever, Maria. Maria-chan, you'll trip if you aren't careful. Look out. Ooh! Gonna fall, sink. The long-missed cousins I had loved dashed across the beach, getting swallowed by the forest path that led to the mansion, and disappeared. And of course, Onii-chan could be seen among them too. Damn it! Stop right there, Maria, you nimble little brat. Maria One-chan, whom I'd loved, started dashing, and Onii-chan chased after her. They were swallowed up by the forest. Following them, father and mother were also swallowed up. The rest of the parents were swallowed up. They were swallowed up, leaving only me behind. Dumbass. How long are you gonna joke around and play with a witch in a place like this? Come back quickly, Oni-chan. Don't leave me all alone. And realize how cruel and lonely the world I'm isolated in is. Welcome to Rokkenjima, the island you all know and love. That was the achievement I just got. Yes, let's begin the next arc. Let's go. Chop chop. Anja's future. St. Lucia Academy. After 1986. Okay, never mind. We're not starting that arc. Just kidding. Good day to you. Good day to you. Good day to you is the standard greeting used here. Oh, I think in Japanese that would be, is it Gokigenyo? Am I saying that right? Is it Gokigenyo? Gokigenyo? Something like that. They use it in Meichan no Shitsuji. That's the only way that I know. It's like, how do you do it? Sort of. It's like well, from what I understand, it's like upper class female greeting thing. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if that's really what that is, but it'd be interesting to see if that's what it was. No matter how many years pass by, this style of greeting still feels very awkward. Even though I'd responded to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling, the classmate who had spoken looked at me blankly. Huh? Huh? What's that? Seems you're mistaken. The choice of words and manner was certainly what you'd expect from a school for rich girls, but the actual meaning was as innocent and cruel as you'd expect from kids of that age. It seems they found it funny that I mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. Oh, rip. No, it might be the opposite. Maybe they didn't know how to react after being suddenly greeted by a gloomy, quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates who were looking this way over their shoulders and whispering to each other, it looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. Wow. I was dark because I was disliked. So, trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning anymore, I stooped lower and entered the classroom. Almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theatre while the movie was running. This is an all-dorm room, St. Lucia Academy. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girls' school, known of only by a select group of celebrities from various fields. For lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints, this is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it was probably also convenient for nobles who wanted to confine daughters they didn't want out in public. As well as an academy isolated from the impurities of the common world, it also held excellent potential as a prison school. Wow. I was truly among the latter, and was confined to St. Lucia Academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you couldn't tell us apart at a distance. However, even if we never fessed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads with an expression on our faces as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had one or two kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed that I was one of those kids, at some point, everyone in my class knew about it. Just like how the seriousness of an injury becomes a sign of status in a hospital room. How noble... A sign of status? Excuse me? Is that a thing? That's weird. What? Okay. Strange. How noble a birth one had became a sign of status here. I feel like it should be the other way around, but okay. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged, and it's like this is common knowledge and this isn't. Strange. Those girls who couldn't be accepted in public are probably nothing more than filth to the others. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. When a rumour sprang up about a particular student, those fastidious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this, all by myself. Well, that's only if hearing people whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having everyone pretend like they didn't know anything can be called a quiet school life. Even this early in the morning I must look worn out. I could almost understand why my other classmates, who had a refreshing morning, looked at my face and wanted to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' morning, I quietly took my seat. Then, unusually, someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader. "Good day to you, Usurumi-san. You seem to be in a bad mood this morning. Were you able to get enough sleep? Is there some business you have with me?" "You're the only one who has not submitted her questionnaire for the class presentation, Usurumi-san. Did you forget that the deadline was yesterday?" "I'm pretty sure I heard something about that last week. But I thought that the questionnaire hadn't been passed out yet. The details would be written there, so there shouldn't have been any need to remember them beforehand." "I wasn't given a questionnaire." "That can't be. I believe the dormitory leader handed them out to everyone. If you lost it, all you have to do is honestly say so." "I lost it. I'll fill it in right now, so could you give me a sheet?" Again, either someone lost my sheet, or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I have no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly. "Once you've filled it out, drop it in the questionnaire box in the student council room yourself. Our class is the only one that didn't get everyone's in by yesterday." As I hung my head at the class leader's scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching, coming from no direction in particular. "Usurumi-san did it again." "Oh, Usurumi-san did it again. She's just so careless. She doesn't deserve to be in this school. She has no dignity and no manners either." Bullying sucks. Sorry girls, but I've dealt with much worse when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. Then I learnt that father and mother and Oni-chan and all the rest of my family had died. I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Usurumi Eva. Only Aunt Eva. Even at the time I hadn't really liked Aunt Eva. At a glance she would act kindly, but even as young as I was, I could see that she was somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I hadn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Eva would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if that gentle Uncle Hideyoshi and George Oni-chan had been with me, but I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Eva. I'd frankly said that to Grandpa, hoping to live together in his house. Oh my god, there's a helicopter outside, and it scared the living shit out of me just now. Can it not make such loud noises? Thank you. However, Aunt Eva had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor I was essential if the Ushirimiya family was to continue. Aunt Eva felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take care of me right away so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for a successor. After that, it seems that confusing negotiations with lawyers took place. But in the end, I was forced to go live with Aunt Eva. Sorry, I need another drink. Helicopter! Shush! After doing that, Aunt Eva told me something. You must bear all of the glory and history of the Ushirimiya family, and in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to frantic studying, sacrifice the rest of your life for the Ushiromiya family. That is something I don't really understand. I mean, like, I understand it, but, like, this whole... It's a very... I don't know if it's a thing that happens in China, but it's definitely a thing that happens in Korea and Japan, where high school students are... Like, there's this crazy study culture where they're expected to study like fucking robots and go to all these cram classes and basically have no life so that they get into a good university so that they can get a good job. But like, oh, it makes me so sad. Especially living in like not in that country. Well, I don't know about America, but in New Zealand, your grades in high school mean nothing. Like, you can get into any university just by passing, not by your actual grades. At least it was like that in my day. I assume it's like that still. Because university here is open to anyone who wants to go and has passed. And even if you haven't passed NCA Level 3, you can do like a foundation course so that you can do... Anyway, yeah. So this whole like teenagers should study like shit and burn themselves out and stuff so they can potentially get a... It's stupid and dumb and I don't approve. Anyway, it's kind of the same in university actually. I mean, your grades matter to get into like postgraduate programs, or can matter. Or like if you want to be an exchange student, you have to have like an average of like a B plus or whatever. But once you've graduated, your grades mean nothing. No one has access to your grades except you. So it's stupid. Yeah. Anyway, that's what she said. That's what she said. Okay. At first I thought she meant that literally, but I quickly realized that wasn't the case. Oh. Because even now, in Aunt Eva's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Onii-chan. At our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questioning about table manners. I was forced to listen to her abuse Mum and Dad. Abuse Mum and Dad as though they'd been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding manners at my first party, and my clumsiness had been disparaged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to Mum and Dad as well. After that repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand. Aunt Eva didn't really want to make me her successor. She thought George Onii-chan was the only one truly suited to be her successor, and she couldn't forgive the fact that it was to be me instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me. And she made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Onii-chan to both acquaintances and strangers, surely in place of a memorial service for her dead son. Or rather, she must still be mourning his death. Wow, that's great. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Eva. I was kept like a pet, my life continually compared with her dead son's. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school. I tried to escape the Ushiromiya house and run off to the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. However, Aunt Eva had already foreseen that. No, thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by the guards and brought back. And for being a coward, who had smeared the Ushiromiya family crest with mud and tried to throw it away, in a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just remembering it, I was punished. How should I describe what Aunt Eva was like when she punished me? In a frenzy? Gleeful? I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, as well as the hatred and pain from me stealing that inheritance from the son who should have received it, and the dark pleasure of being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all of those negative emotions at once. One second, I have to get some meat out of the freezer. I totally forgot about it. Okay, sorry, I had to do adult things. Oh, wait, that sounded weird. I mean, grown up things. There we go, that's better. Then, all of my free time and freedom to act was stolen, and I was put under surveillance around the clock. I may have lived in a gorgeous mansion, dressed in expensive clothes, but my heart and my dignity had been trampled upon, and I was the Ushiramir family's slave, its cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. That's so sad. Ugh, makes me angry. Whoa! After burying almost all of the fields of the questionnaire with nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket. Because if I left it in my desk, it might disappear again. Bullying is bad, you guys. Stop it. Shame on bullies. Shame on them all. I think I was kind of lucky in that I didn't really get bullied at school. I got bullied on the bus. Yeah, and then I stopped taking the bus. But, I didn't really get bullied at school. Some of my friends did, by other friends in my social group, but I was just kind of like, I was very quiet, but not in a timid way, just like, and I just kept to myself, and like, I was there in the friend group, but I was kind of like, off on my own. Like, I would sit with them at lunch and stuff, but I'd be sitting there with my iPod in, because I had an iPod back then. And I was wearing sunglasses and stuff. Oh, so cool. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, no, I didn't really get bullied, thankfully, but, yeah. It's dumb. Although, I must say, I didn't realize that my friends were getting bullied by other friends. Yeah. No, I didn't realize. New Zealand bullying, I think I've talked about this before. New Zealand bullying, at least when I was in high school, was very behind your back rumors and laughing and kind of stuff like that. It wasn't in your face like it is on American TV, where they, I don't know, what do they do on American TV? Things. It's more kind of like, yeah. It's harder to combat because it's kind of like casual misogyny. You know, it's really hard to fight it because it's and same with casual racism. Like, it's just kind of, it's there. Like, you can't really fight it as easily because it's not just anyway. During lunch break, after dropping it off at the post, anyway, it's really dumb. I mean, all bullying is dumb, but during lunch break, after dropping it off at the post box in the student council room, I finished lunch by myself as usual and headed behind the school building where no one could be seen. Only my time by myself could protect me from the derisive laughter and gossip. Oh, there you go. Nice. Since I was hated and didn't have a single friend, my time alone was the most kind to me. I also used to write a lot when I was in high school, so that kind of probably protected me from things too. After checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet. Actually, I used to write all these Mary Sues, which is really embarrassing. But like this was earlier on in high school. But it like involved like all of my not classmates, all of my friends. Like I had quite a big friend group. That we were all kind of like the freaks of the school. But anyway, I would like write them into it with whichever actor or character they were obsessed with at the time, so it was like, it was funny. It was a great time, great way to pass the time, was writing stories for people. It was great. Anyway, after checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then I let out a sigh. It faltered, heavy, as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. Oh, it faltered, heavy, as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. My old favourite place behind the vegetable garden storehouse had been found out by my classmates. Classmates, and I'd been teased, so this was my new lunchtime hideaway. There was nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crouched near the wall in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag, took out a book with an elaborate old-fashioned binding. We didn't used to sit on chairs at lunch, actually. At my school, everybody had to sit on the ground, regardless of the weather. It was great times. Like, even, like, if it was raining outside, we would sit in the corridor. This shit kind of fucked up now that I think about it. But anyway. Just glancing at it, you'd probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages. But this wasn't a book. It was a diary. Of course it wasn't my diary. There weren't any special things worth writing about in my daily life. Every single day was just grey, cold and dry. In those completely unchanging days, there aren't any changes worth writing down. This was the diary of Maria One-chan, a girl I'd been very close to. Oh yeah, because they would have been the same age. She'd been a bit strange and 3 years older than me. Okay, they weren't the same age, but similar. But One-chan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She would always grab me by the hand and let me join in on some fun game. I remembered that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. Aw. Not that I am new to this or anything, but this will be mostly text, will it? It will be entirely text. It's a visual novel. In the most extreme sense of the word, there is no gameplay. It is just bedtime story with Nocturnal Owlie. Yeah. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made fairly skilled... Oh, and there's also voice acting, but I turned it off so that I could do it, because otherwise I'd just be sitting here. By some pretty good seiyuu, actually. Yep. And there's also an anime as well. But the anime is unfinished, so... Yeah. It's really good though. Oh, the story is really good. When I open, like, I kind of forget that I haven't been running around and stuff. Although this is my favorite part of Let's Playing, is reading the dialogue and stuff, so for me, this is amazing. None of that battle filler, you know? Just the story. It's great. Just think of it as like reading a book. Yeah. When I open the diary, the characters, which, although it does lack some visual novel stuff, like, you know how in, well, I guess that's more in dating sims, but you know how in visual novels and stuff you have a calendar and there are certain things you do on certain days and you form relationships with certain characters. There's none of that. It's just reading. It's just a nice story. A nice bedtime story that won't at all give you nightmares. Yep. I think it's a manga as well. And it's also very long. Very, very, very long. Especially the way I read it. When I opened the diary, the characters, which, although I have to say, if I was playing this on my own, I'd have voice acting on so I wouldn't have to read everything. I was gonna say, if I wouldn't play this on my own, because I would get not bored, but like tired, I think, reading so much text. Too niche for you? I don't know. I think you would like the character models, actually. When I open the diary, the characters, which are made fairly skillfully. This isn't so... Like, so far we haven't really seen many characters. There's usually a lot more kind of character interaction and stuff, but it's the first chapter of, well, like the first part of this arc, so it's all establishment and stuff, so at the moment it's all this, but yeah. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made fairly skillfully, considering that this was an elementary schooler, were packed close together. Though they were written on every other line. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Probably not. To her, writing her daily life down... Oh, also, this is probably a bad time to start the game as well, because it's usually very action-packed, but we're just... At the beginning, it's very slow. Well, the whole thing's very slow, but, like, it's... And it would be confusing, because what we know of hasn't really been shown yet in this arc and stuff, so, yeah. To her, writing her daily life down in a diary is probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So, rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Marione-chan's diary was written... And I keep making it longer by giving you personal anecdotes as well, so it doesn't really help. Rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Marione-chan's diary is written like a letter to another part of herself, telling of the events of that day. Oh, thank you. I appreciate this compliment. I found this diary among her belongings after her death and secretly took it home. I like to think that at the beginning of the Let's Play, everybody's getting ready for bed. And they're like, okay, let's listen to the stream. And then as the numbers dwindle in the stream, it's just people falling asleep. I found this diary among... Is that weird? I found this diary among her belongings after her death and secretly took it home. At first, I'd felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish and satisfied myself with just keeping it by my side. But I couldn't help flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit. I would totally let's play... Well, not let's play. Let's read books. Like, on my channel, but it would be... there would be problems with copyright, so I can't, and it's not fair. This is the closest I have. And by now, she had become my only friend. I gently opened to the page with a bookmark. Sorry to keep you waiting, Marione-chan. Could you let me hear your story again? Or was that her talking? Sorry to keep you waiting, Marione-chan. I agree. I think it's a compliment. I have not promised, I do not promise you a high octane time, so being so relaxed by my voice is nice. At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, tickling the paper. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Marione-chan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. On the pages of the open diary, no, in the world of the diary, Marione-chan showed herself. Oh, that's a pretty picture, look at that. I'm pretty sure she was 9 when she died, so her form was already younger than me. But I call her One-chan, so she affectionately calls me Anje. Ooh! Anje, you were slow getting here today. Was it packed at lunch? Yes. It's always packed. Groups of friends set up camp in the seats and they stay there even after they finish eating. It's pretty fatal if you get to the dining hall late. I was on cleanup duty today. Ooh! I eat fast. The faster you eat, the more you can play. Ooh! Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge because that duty had been forced upon me and shortened my lunch break by a bit. Marione-chan brightly changed the subject. Grateful for that act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Maria calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. The problem with this kind of games is that too often they go into black screen for several minutes. Yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Yeah, and there are like some things where I'm like, why didn't they draw that? Although some of the things it's like, hey, I'm glad they didn't draw that. But yeah, there is a lot of, I think so this is like one game. There's a second game which has, it's called the Answer Arcs or something. Whatever that means. But apparently the UI for that is a little different. So it's not just like text all the way across the screens, but I think they actually have speech bubbles and things, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how different that one is, but yeah. I read about it in her diary. No, I heard it from Marione-chan. She was ranked #1 among the girls in the speed eating rank for her grade's newspaper. She was apparently very proud of that, but a little disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it. Oh dear. She probably got a slap from her or something. Ooh! There's also lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of angst in this game, and you know how I feel about the angst. It's a very slow burning, but it's angsty. And there's good music too. Ooh, then let's start our story for today. How far did we get yesterday? Ooh. Oh, that's a nice sound. This far. Until you got Sakutaro as a present, Mario Neja. You promised that you'd tell me about Sakutaro. What's Sakutaro? Ooh, let's talk about Sakutaro. You know, Sakutaro is a really cute stuffed animal. This is like the most she's ever talked, like in full sentences. I'm sure you'd like him too, aren't you? Ooh. Yeah. Tell me that story. The only time I can relax at school is when I'm listening to your stories during lunch break. A sudden black hole? Warning, that would actually possibly be a better fate than what has happened so far. Ooh, I'll tell you about it. Sakutaro was really, Wait, did I just skip something? Go back. When I looked at Maria One-chan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. A cathedral! Yes. As I listened to her title, I began to get absorbed into her world. Isn't this pretty though? Oh, this pretty sky. Happy birthday, Maria. Sorry I got back so late. Ooh, that's such a cute little jacket. Good job with your work, Mama. I know you're busy, so even though you were late, I waited without crying. I was good and waited, watching TV. Yes, you're such a good girl, Maria. As a present for waiting politely, you can order anything you want today. Of course, only as much as you can eat, okay? Ooh! Today, can I change my corn soup to onion gratin soup? Wait, I want to actually look this up. Oh, how do you say this? What a refined palate you have there. It is like that. Gratin. Actually, it says gratin, which is weird. Whatever, I'll pronounce it however I want. Okay, do onion gratin soup? Soup? Yes, that's fine. Ooh, that looks really good. Ooh, it's 200 yen more expensive, but can I change it to prosciutto? Why can Maria say all these words that I can't say? Prosciutto. Prosciutto. Is it like that? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Oh, nah, I said it really wrong. It's prosciutto. Prosciutto. Cured ham from Italy, usually served as an hors d'oeuvre. There we go. To prosciutto pizza. As in grating. Ew. Yes, that's fine. If you really can eat it. But that's okay. It's your birthday after all. It must be a reward for the good girl who waited so patiently. I've never seen her mum be this nice before. Grape. Delicious. I don't know what this is. Probably something to taste. Grape no oishiさを something. Oh, creamy cheesecake. Grape tarto. This is a tart cheesecake. Ooh! Then can I have enchilada cheesecake? Wait. Isn't that... Wait, that sounds horrible. Let me check, see if enchilada means something that I don't know it means. Mexican dish of a tortilla, or as you say in New Zealand, tortilla. Filled with meat, served with a chili sauce. Yep, that sounds disgusting. What? Are there savory cheesecakes? What is this monstrosity? You've had bacon cheesecake before? Why? Ew, it sounds horrible. You strange North Americans and you're putting bacon in everything. Stop it. And then, the chef's choice fruit salad and kid's french fries. I want to drink melon soda too. Ooh, I'm a good girl. Mama praise me. Ooh. Don't do that. You're getting a little too excited. If you don't quiet down a bit, you'll disturb the other customers. Now I really feel like pizza. Damn it, stupid game. When Rosa gently admonished her, Maria stuck her tongue out and eased up a little. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat out with her mother after such a long time. Today was Maria's birthday. Yes, I figured. I had gathered that, thank you. Rosa always tried to let Maria spend her birthdays at great restaurants. When Maria had been in kindergarten, they sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making it a huge celebration. But when they moved and Maria no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa had started splurging at expensive restaurants and said, "Hey guys, what are your favorite salads?" Like, it doesn't have to be like lettuce and stuff, but like, what are your favorite kind of like vegetable, pasta-y, or just like some couscous or some kind of salad-y thing? Do you have any kind of favorites? Because I have to make something for my brother's birthday and I don't know what to make. Give me ideas. Rosa started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. However, today, they were in a normal family restaurant. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with a parent. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic place that would surely have pleased Maria. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written on it. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her business and had been forced to cancel. Since that plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. That's very odd. This must be the first time she's ever felt this way. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight. You never used to eat much, did you, Maria Onechan? Was it really alright to order that much? Ooh, I can't eat very much, but I like to have a lot lined up. You know, like on a birthday table. Yep. I agree. One of the best things about watching Gilmore Girls is whenever Rory is with her grandparents and they have breakfast and there's only 3 of them, but the whole table is like covered in like bread and fruit and eggs and pancakes and juice, and it's just like, oh, like I couldn't eat all of that, but just having all that food, especially breakfast foods. I'm okay. If it's coloured all over with red and blue and green and yellow, it makes you really happy. Not wrong. You're right, having a birthday table be colourful can make you feel happy. Birthdays at my place were no match for yours, Mario Onechan, but the cakes we bought at the Fumiya store in front of the station were always gorgeous. Anju thought back to her own birthdays nostalgically. It was meh? Oh, good. That makes me feel better. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party, and then went right back to his company. At the time I was sad, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mum also took very good care of me. In particular, her birthday presents were always in excellent taste, and she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. Even though we always sent an invitation to Battle on Ichan, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he kept not coming. Wait. What? That's weird. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties, when the whole 4-person family gathered, made for fun memories I'll never forget. Ooh! Andrew's birthdays sound like a lot of fun too. Battler and Uncle Rudolph are really lively. Yay, yay! Battler got covered in cola. Mario Nechan peeked into my happy memory. As I sat quietly wearing the origami helmet that Dad had made for fun, I was a little embarrassed. Origami? In my hand was a paper gun that Battler Nechan had folded for me, and Mum was taking a commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life. Aww. Bet your birthday's no worse, Mario Nechan. And this is the day you get him, right? Sakutaro. Ooh! Oh, Jesus. I was really looking forward to it. I got so excited, wondering when Mama would show me the wrapped present in the corner of her bag. Sakutaro is the name of a stuffed animal that Mario was to receive that day. For quite some time before then, Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Mario as a present today. Oh. I can't imagine this person being Aunt Rosa. Like, what's happening? Strange. Hearing that, it was a cute lion stuffed animal. Mario Nechan had already given it the name Sakutaro, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today, she was looking forward to meeting Sakutaro, even more than her own birthday. Aunt Rosa ran a clothing design company. She did? It seemed to be some kind of brand name. What was it? Auntie Rosa? It seems her catchphrase was, I can't forgive the me of yesterday. What? That's terrible. Unfortunately, I've never met someone who knew that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. So Aunt Rosa was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities. I wish I could sew. I need to learn. Naru, teach me how to sew. Thank you. A handmade stuffed animal. That's pretty amazing. By the way, why did you call it Sakutaro? Ooh, actually I wanted to call it Sakura. But it's a male lion, so she told me to give it a boy's name. But aren't there guys called Sakura though? Isn't it like a unisex name? Sex name? So I added a boy like Taro and called him Sakutaro. Oh, I see. Eventually the last ooh disappeared. Why Sakura? Ooh, and the main character in Card Master Sakura, that's hilarious. It was the name of the main character in a TV anime. I mean, it was the name of the main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. The fact that she had simply borrowed... Oh, why didn't she, if it's a lion, why didn't she call it, Thingamajig, you know? Fuck is his name? Cool, I forgot. Yep. The fact that she'd simply borrowed the name of a character she liked was, how should I say it, as innocent and cute as you'd expect from someone that age. Hey, I did the same thing with Haru, so you shush. Haru was named after, the character in The Cat Returns, the main character. What Haru? Mama! Still no Sakutaro? I wanna let Sakutaro join in on my birthday too. Presents always come at the end, right? If you open it now, it'll get dirty. Why not, baby? Hold on until the meal is over. Then I'll finish eating quickly. Ooh. As soon as she proclaimed that, she started tearing into her meal. Nom nom nom. Aunt Rosa got mad at her, saying that was rude. It seemed that she'd expected this would happen right away. I also thought that, given how straightforward Mario was, that was probably what she what she'd do, so it was kind of pleasant when my expectations weren't betrayed. This is making me hungry, can it stop? In the end, Aunt Rosa lost her daughter's eyes, which were sparkling with anticipation, cleaned up the table, and took out the long-awaited wrapped present. Happy birthday, Maria. I wasn't able to spend much time on it, so I couldn't make it very well. Ooh! If you made it, I'll be happy with anything. Ooh! Sakutaro! Sakutaro! Ooh! Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Mario Nechan was happy even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand that feeling. It's not a problem of quality, just the fact that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything. Can I open it? Can I open it? I wanted to wait until we got back home before doing it, but just for a bit, okay? We'll just take a look and say hello, then put it back. You can give him a proper greeting once we get home. We're in public, so you can't fool around, okay? Can you promise? Ooh! Promise, promise! So can I open it? Can I open it? Mama! Yes, yes, just for a bit, okay? Yay! Before Aunt Rosa finished talking, Maria started unwrapping it. It is him. Look. That's hilarious. Yes, Mr. Phone? As soon as she did, yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion stuffed animal, with cute round eyes and a white chest. This is so weird. What has this got to do with it? Anything? It was about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone as short as Mario Nechan, but it probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know better, it probably looks like something cheap bought from a department store or something. Wow, rude! But to Mario Nechan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world, and irreplaceable. Sakutaro! Sakutaro! Cute, cute, so cute! Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for making such a cute stuffed animal even though you're so busy with work. If you praise me that much, it's actually embarrassing. I couldn't take much time, so I couldn't make anything that good. I actually wanted to make one so big that you couldn't wrap your arms around it. I thought it was going to be tiny. No, this is good. With this size, we can always be together. We can go out together. Sakutaro, I'm your Onea-chan. Uriel! It really is an adorable stuffed animal. So this kid is Sakutaro, your best friend. Ooh, we can't go to school together, but me and my best friend are always together at home. You know, Sakutaro is really innocent and cute and always nice to me. He supports me when I'm feeling down and plays a lot with me when I'm feeling good. So I'm never lonely anymore. Not lonely when Mama's busy with work and I'm all alone. Not even when no one plays with me at work. I mean, what? Not even when no one plays with me at school. Isn't that right, Sakutaro, idiot? At school, Mario Nechan had lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other kids in her class, Mario Nechan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar and a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. Her grades were low as well, and since she was talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty, she was treated like a weirdo by everyone else in class. If you were touched by Mario Nechan, you'd be cursed, stuff like that. Apparently, everyone in her class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her and avoided her. If a boy bumped into Mario Nechan, he'd start rubbing that part against the other boys as if he'd gotten some scum on him. Isn't that just a thing that boys do, anyway? They'd pick up her stuff like it was something filthy and chase the other boys around with it. It seems the girls thought even speaking to her was unpleasant. They ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake. Looks like bullying is the same in all areas. Humans really don't advance at all, do they? If only they'd just get wiped out. Oh my goodness. I'm sad when I'm bullied, but I think it can't be helped. It can't be helped? Why not? After all, there's a rule that says every class has to have a single bully kid. What? That's a horrible rule. I'd like to find the person who made it and hit them over the head with a brick. Is this Estelle? She's great. I love her. Using the corner, of course. Why is she so good? That's my response also. If it wasn't there, then there'd surely be a new bully kid chosen in my place. By staying strong, I can protect that kid. As she said that, she smiled faintly. Wow, somebody has told you lies? Mario-ne-chan's way of thinking really is unusual. Jesus Christ. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in that place called a school. No, she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. Huh. The witch tries to... It's like a Pokestop. The witch tries to steal the students' souls through death by disease. Okay, not like a Pokestop. Or accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down that path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue. And the angel tried to finish off that witch. The witch was powerful, and the fight took 7 days and 7 nights, but even then it still wasn't over. The tired-out witch asked for a truce and proposed this. I heard about that one before. Until now, I've made half of the students in the class become sick or injured. But in exchange, I've protected the remaining half of the students from sickness and injury. Therefore, if one member of the class becomes a sacrifice to me and is made into the bullied kid, I shall protect all of the other students from sickness and injury. Right? What the fuck? Ooh! The angel thought about it. Compared to half the class meeting with misfortune, having only one person be unfortunate would be much better. Then the witch said that she'd protect the safety of all the other students using her powerful magic. If there are 40 students in a class, and the 20 victims are reduced to 1, then 19 people are saved. It's actually a reasonable proposal. No, it's fucked up! Stop that! I wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Mario-ne-chan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive. The angel decided to accept that proposal, so through that single sacrifice, 19 people were saved. That's why my role's important. The witch is protecting 19 people. And because we become sacrifices? Well, I don't remember ever being thanked by those 19 people. Mario-ne-chan's idea was too compassionate. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune, and yet maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are. So you aren't sad, Mario-ne-chan? Ooh, I'm not sad at all. After all, I'll be together with Sakutaro from now on. Right, Sakutaro? Rio, if I can be with Mario, I'll be happy too. Look, Sakutaro says he's happy too. Ooh. Mario-ne-chan hugged the Sakutaro stuffed animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand it. But that's exactly why I want to reach Mario-ne-chan's level. So I was intensely drawn to her tale and her words. Ooh, ooh. Anje, is it tough being because... What? Is it tough because you're all alone? That's a rude thing to say. It is tough. But just the time I can be like this with you is different. Because I'm not all alone. Then, if Sakutaro also becomes your friend, it'll be even more fun. Ooh! And starting today, Sakutaro is Andre's new friend. New how to pet. Right, Sakutaro? Yes, I would love to be friends with her. Oh! Uria? I am Anje's friend? Uria, Anje! Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a puppet, Mario-ne-chan expressed Sakutaro's emotions. She was controlling him, but the charming way he waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made it feel like he really was a new friend called Sakutaro. Of course, looking at it with cold eyes, it would only appear that Mario-ne-chan was comforting me when I was grumpy, but a soul had definitely been sent into that stuffed animal, the soul of Mario-ne-chan's love. So I acknowledged the existence of a being called Sakutaro inside that stuffed animal. Come on, say hi to Sakutaro too, Angie. Come on, you say hi too, Sakutaro. Uria? Is Angie a scary person? As Sakutaro timidly looked at me, he unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Mario-ne-chan's back in surprise. Mario-ne-chan really is good at playing with stuffed animals. It's okay, Sakutaro. Angie isn't scary, she's a really nice girl. Ooh! Hello, I'm Sakutaro. Uria. Pleased to meet you, Sakutaro. Oh, sure. Pleased to meet you, Sakutaro. I'm Anje. I'm glad to have a new friend. I held out my hand as though asking for a handshake, and Sakutaro's short hand was stuck out towards me, lightly touching my index finger. After all, when a human and a stuffed animal shake hands, their sizes are too different. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake. Ooh! Now Auntie and Sakutaro are already friends. 2 people are more fun than 1, and 3 people are more fun than 2. Ooh! Oh dear! Mario and Neto had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was to receive on her birthday, and had warmed and expanded his existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was sublimated into her personality. Even at the first moment they met, they were already friends. Of course, that wasn't anything extraordinary in Mario Neto-chan's eyes, although I don't think she'd personified and loved anything quite as much as Sakutaro. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Sounds like me as a child. Maybe Aunt Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time, so she felt like treasuring objects instead. Maybe she was so isolated that she'd been forced to find a friend nearby. Because of all that, what happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Sakutaro, no, maybe I should call it Sakutaro, like Maria One-chan. Sakutaro. There's no doubt that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. No, a friend, whom she loved more than anything, or anyone. Hello? It's Mama. You're in a good mood. Is a friend over? Ooh! Playing with Sakutaro! Sakutaro, knock it off! It was already about 9 at night. Rosa had asked because this wasn't a good time to have a friend over, and she'd been just a little surprised. But when she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she'd have so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much. Sorry, Mama just can't get her work finished tonight. The next season's lineup is having a tough time. Looks like we're finally starting to get orders bit by bit, and I want to somehow give it a bit more impact so we can answer to their expectations. So you're spending the night? Sure, okay. Do your best, Mama. But really? Thank you, Maria. Thanks for being understanding about Mama's work. Rosa was surprised that Maria had accepted so easily that she wouldn't be able to come home from work. To Rosa, having to tell Maria that she'd be coming home late or staying overnight was a huge burden. Are you leaving her alone? As a 9-year-old? Or maybe younger than that. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it in such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakutaro? Rosa was once again pleased that she'd given her daughter such a good present. I'll make sure I come back this time tomorrow. Let's eat dinner together then. You haven't eaten dinner yet, have you, Maria? Buy a bento at the convenience store and eat it. No sweets, no soda. I'll check the receipt and the change, understand? Ooh! Shopping with Sakutaro! Shopping with Sakutaro! Hey, not Sakutaro. Have him watch over the house. From Maria's manner of speech, Rosa got the feeling that Maria might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased, and after sourly saying that Maria definitely mustn't do that, she hung up. Why not? Ooh! Oh my god, she has so many things! Ooh, Mama said I mustn't go shopping with Sakutaro. Oh, dear. Can't go shopping with Maria. Staying home alone will be lonely. Why did Mama say not to go shopping with Sakutaro? Ooh. Oh, dear. I'm sure that if Maria was seen with me, it would be embarrassing. Embarrassing? Why? Mama says not to take me outside a lot, and she usually says Maria can't do it because she's too old. Ooh, but I'm not embarrassed at all to be with Sakutaro, right? I'm a lion, but I'm a stuffed animal. You're a lion and a stuffed animal, but you're my friend. So let's go out together. That's when Mama isn't around, as a secret. Ooh? You aren't saying that you're embarrassed, are you? I'm not embarrassed, but... Ooh, the people outside are a little something that I accidentally clicked past. A little scary. Is that it? Then I'll make it so that you can go outside without being scared. Leave it to me. I've got something that's really useful. Is it a backpack? Maria started fishing around her messy room. Oh, it's not that messy. Rosa often told her to clean it up, but Maria apparently didn't like doing it. However, Maria herself knew more or less where everything was. So much so that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have trouble finding where anything was. This is my life. Yep. Here it is! Hey, look, Sakataro! A knapsack! Maria proudly held it up high. Sakataro looked at the knapsack, which was gaping open, squirming as though saying, Are you serious? Yeah, Maria, you aren't saying... Ooh, this way we can go shopping together and Sakataro won't be scared. Maria held Sakataro up and started stuffing him into the knapsack. At first she tried to stick him in head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she pulled him out and tried pushing him in again, feet first. Maria, tight, cramped, dark, ooh. Look, it's alright. If you stick your head out, it isn't cramped, it isn't dark, and it isn't scary. And it's a good view. Ooh. Maria, you're right. Is it okay for me to go shopping with Maria like this? Yeah, it'll be fine. What should we get for dinner tonight? Come on, let's go out, Sakataro. Ooh. Looks like you're having fun, Mario and Airton. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even things that would be lonely and boring alone will become fun with Sakataro. Any human friend would have to go home when it gets late. But Sakataro doesn't go home, so we can be together all the time. He'll watch TV with me. Be together even in the futon. Oh. And even hold my hand on scary nights when there's thunder. He'll chase away the monsters in the closet and under the bed. Sakataro is reliable. Mario, since I'm a lion, I'll show my courage and chase away any monsters scare Mario. Mario, roar! They were so close that it made me a little envious. And supposedly older now than Mario Nair-chan was then, but Mario Nair-chan really is Mario Nair-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakataro. Sakataro and I are your close friends, right? We're always by your side. It's just that your magic is weak, so you can't perceive us unless you open my diary like this. Perceive? You know some pretty difficult words, Mario Nair-chan. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits, and they're as natural and nearby as a light breeze. You don't normally notice or see the wind, but when incense smoke or something draws trails, you can see it, right? Right? And even if you can't see it, it's always nearby. That's it. We're always really close by to you, aren't you? Gods and spirits and guardian spirits are always right next to us. But if you aren't conscious of them, you can't feel their existence, like wind that can't be seen with the eyes. But they certainly are near us, and if they draw trails in the smoke called magic, anyone can see them. I thought I'd only be able to meet Mario Nair-chan while his diary was open, but from what she said, she's always with me, and I can meet her at any time if I truly desire to. Along with a record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my diary. Along with a record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my diary, so the power of my magic resides in this diary. But it's very faint, so only you can feel it. Only I can tell it's there? Yep. After all, the power of a witch resides in you, just like me. If you study hard, you too will definitely become a great witch in the future. A witch? I wonder if that'd be fun. Ooh, it is fun. If you do that, you'll be able to know that Sakataro and I are always by your side even without opening the diary. If you do that, every day will become fun. If you do that, I'll introduce you to many other friends. If you do that, every day will get busy and very lively. Oh my god. That might be fun. I do have the grimoire you left behind, Mario Nair-chan. I'll try reading it seriously sometime soon. If I do that, I won't be all alone anymore, right? Ooh, Mario! Mario Nair-chan and Sakataro said that at the same time, happy that I had developed an interest in the world of witches. Oh, so much to say. Oh my goodness. With her knapsack on her back and half of Sakataro's face peeking out of it, she triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. Well, it was that time of day after all. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner, lowering their shutters on their shops, or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. Amidst all that, Maria, who was in a good mood like someone on a hike, probably looked quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance at her back with the eyes of someone seeing something out of place. Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of the knapsack. It's interesting that her mother's like, you're too old for having stuffed toys. I had stuffed toys at 9. I had stuffed toys until I was like, probably too old to have stuffed toys. like 13 or something. I mean, well, I didn't travel around town with them, but still, I think it's quite normal to see a 9-year-old with a stuffed toy, isn't it? I don't know. Just let her do whatever. It's see, people are dumb. Well, at least her mom's dumb. Being like, you're too old for such things. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's not like this person, this kid of yours is not going to outgrow that. And they will like, for example, my youngest cousin used to have something he called Swanee, which was it was a swan. It was a stuffed swan that he had since he was like born, literally. And he like took it everywhere with him when he was a kid, probably until he was like maybe like 9 or something. But like, you know, when you're young, it seems like it's really old, but it's not. And does he still carry a swan around now in his like late 20s? No, of course he doesn't. Well, not that I know of anyway. So it's really dumb. It's like, just let kids grow out of things when they want. Like, I don't think it matters much. It's not like they have to grow up quickly to go become soldiers or something. Like, I don't know, like, just, does it matter that much? Huh? No, it doesn't. Like I'm such an expert parent with all my years of experience. And everything. But still, just, I don't know. Oh. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which have been growing in popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. Actually, I remember I used to take a stuffed toy to school. Oh my god, I totally forgotten about that. And I always used to take a stuffed toy when I went to like if I went to school camp, or if I went on because I used to get really homesick. If I was going like to a sleepover. I didn't grow out of my homesickness until I was 14. So it's great. It's great. Yep. Anyway, supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which have been growing in popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. It was very convenient for Maria, whose mother's return was often late. Maria lowered the knapsack from her back and carried it like a child in her arms. She headed over to the sweet buns corner. I love shops that are open 24/7. It's just nice, you know, knowing that there's always somewhere open at night, especially for somebody who has a hard time sleeping at night. It's always nice. There's always somewhere open with its lights on at nighttime. Yeah. She pointed to a sweet bun she had eaten before, explaining to Sakutaro that this one was delicious, and that one was pretty good too. Sakutaro seemed to be enjoying it a lot. I'm gonna have the 3-colored one. With just this one, you can eat bean jam and cream and strawberry jam. But there's sometimes greenish brown bean jam or white bean jam. There should be one kind of bean jam. Oh dear, looks like having different things inside makes them interesting. Oh dear. Next I'll have a fruit yogurt. There's fruit in it, but it isn't as sweet, right? Yeah, I'm sure Mama will be fine with it. Do you want one too, Sakutaro? Oh dear, is that really okay? What about the money? Ooh, no problem. Look, it's Shotoku Taishi. Ooh, so I can buy you whatever you want too, Sakutaro. Let's eat together. Would you like what is Shotoku Taishi? Would you like some yogurt too, Sakutaro? And Maria made to grab another one of the same fruit yogurt. Sakutaro bent his head slightly, worried. Oreo, but I can't eat a big one, so a small one will be fine. Ooh, then how about a small yogurt? It's 30 yen. Wow, that's cheap. Oreo, that's the cheapest thing I've ever seen. That's good enough for me. On the stream, Insecto. You personally like the cabbage? Okay. Yoga with Maria. Yoga with Sakutaro. Ooh. Night, Ricky. Maria put the 3-colored bread and the 2 yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. Why is everything about food? I'm so hungry. The man running the register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year. I seem to be seeing you a lot of this time of day, little lady. You're a good girl, but maybe you better come with your mother if you're going to go shopping this time in the future, okay? Mama said it's Mama said it's okay, so it's fine. Oh, you're programming. Oh. Mama said it's okay, so it's fine. Mom always comes home late because of her work, but we aren't lonely. Right, Zach? Can you not tell strangers this, please? You should say, my mom is outside waiting for me in the car. That's what you should say. You shouldn't say, my mom's not home at the moment. She never comes home. Please take me away in your strange van. Right, Zach? Oh, yeah. Really? That sounds tough. Here, I'll give you some free soda. Oh, thank you. The man working at the store took a can. Wait, is he even old? I don't know. The man working at the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register or something and packed it into the bag with everything else. And then Maria was never seen again. Thank you, mister. I mean, thank you. I'm so confused about the voices. Thank you, mister. Ooh. You know, I actually I half understand the coding you just did. I tried to teach myself coding once. It lasted about 5 seconds. Thank you, mister. Ooh. It was, shit, what kind was it? Wow, I totally forgot what it's called. Something... Oh, it was, is it C#? Was that a thing? I think it was that. Was it that one? Whoa, what's that sound? Thank you, mister. Ooh, isn't that great, Sakutaro? Oh, dear. Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home, so she decided to drink it on her way back and not bring the empty can back home. Oh, yeah, true. With the vinyl bag with the sweet bun in it around her elbow. Holding the knapsack with Sakutaro in it, with that same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home. I feel like I should learn how to code because it's like learning a language without actually having to have conversation. So it's like all about the grammar, and that's what I'm all about when I learn a language. I can do the grammar, but when it comes to actually having a conversation, that part is hard. But the effort required. The two of them walked home. Ooh, this kosho soda isn't really good. You want to try too, Sakutaro? No, I'll get my face all wet and then you'll have to wash me. You mean, Maria? Nasty. It sure is, ooh. Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She just put the can to Sakutaro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. But it was fun for Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakutaro. There was a huge moon in the sky. At times, that moon had been clouded by tears when she had been unmanageable during Rose's overnight stays. And when she had been scolded by her mother. But this moon was very warm, and it seemed to watch over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Always watch her. Maria and Sakutaro. Anjay watched the two of them go from behind. She looked so warm from behind. That's a weird thing to say. After looking at the backs of Mario, Nea-chan and Sakutaro together, it became very hard to remember all of those long nights when she had cried because her mother hadn't come home. I couldn't say it to Mario Nea-chan, but if I'd been in the same position, I may have given a stuffed animal the name Sakutaro, but it wouldn't have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Why'd you say polyglot? Why do you do this to me? Anyone who can make a relationship that only distracts you from your loneliness. But Mario Nea-chan was different. Sakutaro, I feel like I'm playing to the moon right now. Sakutaro isn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness, he changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakutaro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Because it was very, very cute? Probably not. If there's a secret here, it doesn't lie within Sakutaro. I think it probably lies within Mario Nea-chan. Bum 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 bum. This is the power of magic you were talking about, Mario-chan. Ooh! Knowing magic means that you notice a lot of friends right beside you that you didn't notice before. It's as fun as having a bunch of new toy shops pop up all over the neighborhood. If even I, locked up at an academy without a single friend, had power like Mario-chan, I wonder if I could make my days just a bit richer. I wonder if I'll be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying, to smile on grey nights. Yes, you can. You can do it. After all, you also have what it takes to become a witch. What it takes to become a witch? I have what it takes to become a witch too, so I have still got a lot more studying and training to do. I'll definitely become a wonderful witch, flying in the sky in a broom, drawing rainbows with my cane, making candy fall from the sky, which will fucking hurt. I can definitely do it. Then I'll show you too. Having candy fall from the sky? Imagine having to clean that up. Oh my god. It'd be worse than cleaning up the monkey den at work, I swear. Then I'll show you too. It'll definitely be like a scene from a wonderful dream. Mario-chan said that, making an absolute promise with her smile. There's no way I can become a witch. But if Mario-chan says that, it makes me feel that maybe I really can become a witch. Because in reality, on that desolate night when no flower of a smile could possibly have bloomed, her magic surely gave birth to a smile. I wonder if I can become a witch. You can. You're a bit older, so your soul is bound a bit more by gravity. That might make training tougher than it is for me. But you definitely can. After all, you're already touching a small piece of magic. I am? Magic? Yeah. Come on, look. In a world where I don't exist, you summon me and you're talking with me. This is magic? No, you're just insane. You've expanded the fragment of my soul that I left in my diary, and you're reviving me right now. I also said it a short while ago, right? Do you not remember? Since you managed to reunite with me and have a conversation, since you're able to smile every once in a while, you must have some magical talent, auntie? Your Mario-chan guarantees it. Ooh! You said it a second ago, One-chan. I thought I could only meet you while the diary was open. But you're really nearby all the time, right? If I had more of the power of magic, would I be able to see you? And just like that, would I be able to talk with you, One-chan? At any time? Yeah. We can talk at any time. I'm there by your side to say good morning and even during class. Let's talk together during dull classes to distract you from your boredom. I'll also be there to talk to you during meals, so let's always be together like this during lunch break. We're with you after school too, and of course I'm always by your side even after you return to the dormitory. It's just that you don't see me except when the diary is opened. Even when I close the diary, Mario-chan, you'll be by my side, right? Maybe I should start showering with my clothes on. Yes, that's probably a good idea. I'll be there. So if you try to see me and try to talk to me, I'll definitely be able to answer. If you look strongly and try to talk, that is. I'll give it a try. It isn't easy, okay? It isn't gonna go well all of a sudden. Got it? I understand. I'm sure it won't be easy. But I want to be like you, Mario-chan. Ooh, I understand. It's a really weird thinking of her as an One-chan. Then look at me well. Look closely. Okay. Slowly open and close your eyes. You can't shut them for a long time all of a sudden. After burning my form into your eyes, try to make it blend into the inside of your eyelids. Yeah, I'm doing it. Once you can visualize me, when your eyes are closed, without changing anything, slowly and softly close your eyes again. How is it? Can you still see me? Yes. I think I can properly see you. Then try opening your eyes for a second. Now, for the real thing. Calm your heart and close the diary. At that time, my form may disappear for a second. But calm your heart and don't get anxious. And then try to make the me that's blended into the inside of your eyelids blend back into your eyes. Slowly visualize me in the empty air. In the empty air, see me. Yeah, I'm okay. Then I'll close the diary. Ooh! Slowly, I closed it. When I did so, a grey reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Marionne-chan's form disappeared. Give it all you've got. Have courage. Take the first step into the world of witches. I felt like Marionne-chan was cheering me on inside my heart. She's cheering me on? Really? Or do I just think that she is? No, that's wrong. It's because I think this that I cannot see her. Marionne-chan's always by my side, and even now she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. That reached my ears, so I mustn't ignore it like it's my imagination or the voice of my own heart. I believe that Marionne-chan is there. I mustn't doubt. I believe. One-chan said she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But looking at that empty space by the empty back wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartlessly boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that had clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper overlooking a sea of lights. Funny you should say that. It's Marionne-chan saying it. It's alright. She's saying that I'm someone who can do it. Stop thinking that you might fall or that it'd be foolish to take a step off a roof. Then free yourself from those chains of common sense. That's a horrible message, but okay. Oh my god. Phew. Okay. I steadied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the vivid form of Marionne-chan in the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic and see Marionne-chan. Maria. One-chan. Huh? Is someone there? At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry, and I came to my senses. It looked like I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No, since I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of 3 beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place, because if it became known that I'd been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it'd become a pain again. She said it right. She said it right. She said Marionne-chan or something, right? Isn't that creepy? She isn't seeing spirits or something, is she? Isn't me? It sounds so funny. I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Marionne-chan had been made fun of, I left that place at a quick pace, and then a jog, once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to One-chan's world with just a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? I haven't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. Ah! We have reached the end of the chapter. Thing. The end of this scene! Oh my god! Oh, okay. Alright. Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream here because I'm tired. It's a lot of reading. Yes. But thank you everybody for coming to the stream. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Let's end it with this beautiful... Oh, no, just kidding. This beautiful ashtray. Here we go. Oh, no, just kidding. This. Who's this? Okay. This ominous music. Sure, we'll end it here with this. Oh my god. So that was an interesting kind of episode, I guess. Like, it was very different this time. But good though. It was good. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. He does look a bit like Bumchin. Extra hair. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you everybody for coming to the stream and chatting and listening and stuff, lurking if that's what you have been doing. I appreciate your existence. So thank you to all of my patrons who are here with this ominous music. Thank you everybody for being a patron. I really appreciate your financial support. Shut up, Google. I did not ask for you. Away. Thank you. Yes, I greatly appreciate your support. Yeah. Wait, what? Yes. So thank you very much to John Lauren, otherwise known as Armin, Inkerlink, Red Game, Sivak, Il Nuna, Yormar, James Doyle, Adam Daniels, Love Wisdom, otherwise known as Blue Period, Ordinary Magician, Octotigi, Shimvan Empel, Rune, otherwise known as Fifth Meister, Joshua Rodman, Ralph Decina, otherwise known as Quintus, and Tim Lauren. Thank you very much for being a patron. Look at Haru and Naru there. Except I don't have Haru anymore, but it's Naru, so that's something. Yeah, I hope you all have a good weekend. I'm gonna go eat, because this whole episode was about food, and I'm now dying, so that's lovely. It's just great. And, I'll see you next week on something else. I have many things happening next week, actually. Well, not many things, but there's something very exciting happening next week, so I hope you're all ready for it. Because I think a lot of you will be excited. At least I hope a lot of you will be excited about it. So there's that. And, yeah. It is a thing coming next week. Woo. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.